Hello, everybody. This is Zada, and welcome to Off the Dial Presents It's Dangerous to Go Alone, the January 2021 edition. It is a lovely Saturday in the United States, and yes, for Australia, it's early Sunday morning. Of course, Australia being the place where our tournament organizer DJM hails from. I hope everybody is having a good day so far today, whether it's late in the afternoon or early in the morning. I am joined here today by Bandkid himself. How are you doing, Bandkid?
I am doing quite well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I am doing okay. It's I slept in a little bit today because I knew that this was going to be an exciting tournament, and I needed to get my rest in so that I could actually do this tournament justice. So for those of you that are new to Off the Dial and new to It's Dangerous to Go Alone, this is the tournament where free agents or just people who are playing on teams that want to try something different come together. They have about 2 days to practice as a team, and then they compete. So we have 5 teams today, and yes, as always, they are all alliterative in nature. And first up, we are going to be casting the Barbaric, Blobfish, and the Devilish Dolphins. Yes, the alliteration is real. Hopefully you can all forgive me for all of the mispronunciations we're about to see. Bandkid, I think we have a lot of people that are waiting to get started on this. We actually have a full lobby. We are starting on MuscleForge Fitness Clam Blitz. So look at this. So let me get everyone set up here, and we can talk a little bit about Clam Blitz on MuscleForge Fitness. Or maybe not. Yeah, what is there to say, right? What is there to say about Clam Blitz on MuscleForge Fitness? So the Barbaric Blobfish will be on Alpha, and the Devilish Dolphins will be on Bravo. I think I've got that right. Let me know if I've got it wrong, because I've been known to make mistakes.
It looks right. I mean,
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. So yes, on the Barbaric Blobfish, we have Cast the Fate, Knife, Cranksers, and Asagi, which I believe is right. And then we have Kydro, Cubies, Luxy BB, and Kachan on the Devilish Dolphins. Let's get this show on the road. We will move on from there.
yeah, so for these two teams, I honestly don't know anything much about them besides possibly Knife on the side of Barbaric Blobfish. But other than that, I personally don't really know anyone else on these two teams.
Well, I have seen quite a few of these folks play in It's Dangerous to Go Alone over the last few tournaments, and so I do see a couple familiar faces. I know Kachan has played, Cass has played, I think Asagi has as well. So we do have some folks that have a little bit of tournament experience. Again, you can play in one tournament and be in a completely different team the next time that you play, which is kind of fun. So so we are about to get started with Clam Blitz on MuscleForge Fitness. Yeah, I think this is the very first stage that I ever played Clam Blitz, which is always a little bit scary. So
Yes.
So let's take a quick look at the weapons that everyone's using. So it looks like we have custom dually squelchers, and we do see a tent. We don't have sniper. We have a sniper on one team. It looks a little bit like the Blobfish have a little bit more of a traditional comp than the Dolphins. Yes, it does take me a while to get used to all of the team names. So
Get ready for that. But it looks like right now the Dolphins are going to be getting a push up on the back. Hopefully getting a good push. With 2 down, maybe not. Getting another super slam in. It looks like this may be a tough battle for Blobfish, I believe. So
yeah, the Blobfish were able to stop that push by the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are coming right back out. You can see the missiles are already out for the Blobfish, and They do have a power clam in mid. Knife with that snipe, clearing out another snipe, clearing out the area so that they can get that in there. Here comes the Stingray. Yet another kill with that Stingray. Looks like here comes the push.
The push of the game. 2 down on Dolphins. This may be a very good push for Blobfish. Getting a clam in. It looks like that with CS is live right now.
Yeah, it looks like there was some really good defense going on there by the Dolphins, and they managed to hold them to just 1 power clam in, but there's still 3 minutes left, so anything can happen.
It's Splatoon, you gotta remember that, you know, anything can happen. Dolphins can, keep this defense up, or Blobfish can come back and maybe pull them out, so you never know. Hydra and getting another clam in, meaning that there may be more of a lead for Dolphins against the Blobfish.
And it looks like they're gonna be able to hold the Blobfish are gonna be able to hold the Dolphins to just that 1 power clam, but they are working down through that penalty clock or timer or counter. I guess it's a counter. It's not a clock. It's a counter. And Cass trying to make their way up, but no, Kachan is there and making some stops there for the Devilish Dolphins.
The Saki, I believe, is the best enough to back mid. Hopefully trying to get some more picks so that they can try and get a push up on Dolphins so that they hopefully can at least somewhat predict.
So that wall creating a little bit of a problem there. It looks like it was a wall bomb explosion, which there's nothing like getting bomb sniped on a wall.
Oh, look at the backline here. Heavy Deco gets scoped. Knife pulling out a ray, hopefully trying to take out that ball. They don't get the ball, but the ball is down. 3v3 looks like right now.
And Knife with that snipe.
Yeah. Blobfish are here and they're trying to get a good push on to Dolphins. Taking another one down. Quick Knife. 33 right now looks like.
Those walls looking like they're becoming quite a problem for the Blobfish. There always seems to be a wall right when they're ready to make a push across the grate. Knife trying to clear out as many people as possible. They are down to 1. This is the opportunity right here that the Blobfish have been looking for.
Just gotta try and get more clamps and push up. Maybe even push up my clamp on the block. They take the lead. Not by that much though. Looks
well,
like
you know, it is Clam Blitz though.
Yes, but there is only 30 seconds, so this is a very unpredictable match.
Very true. So yeah, it looks like it's going to take I think my math is failing me. I think really here we go. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, looks like that might be good for Dolphins. And it is. Wait, no, not Dolphins. But Blobfish comes in and takes overtime, which means that they take the first game on must-forward clams.
Nice. The Blobfish with the win. That come from behind win. Knife with all of those snipes. And those horrible stingrays, which we all know is so wonderful when we see that.
Yes.
So let's take a look. Our next map coming up, it is Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. So let me dial that in so that we are ready to go. I think that was a great push counter push that we just saw there. I was pretty impressed by the play from both teams. You know, it sometimes it's a little demoralizing when the other team scores and you have to wait like 2 or 3 minutes before you can make your move. But certainly we did see the Blobfish come right back in and fight their way to that victory.
Yes, Blobfish, we're not taking a loss for an answer. They definitely were not at all. But as we're getting ready for Inkblot tower control, I think personally that this is a improvement from the two maps, but we'll give that up to everyone else. I honestly would like to see Knife come back again with the sniper, because the tower control snipers rule tower control. So I would not be surprised to see a sniper come out again from Knife.
I think you're right. I think I'm looking at the chat, and I know a couple of the people that are in the Twitch chat right now, and apparently Wave, who is somebody that I know, recognizes Knife. So snipers tend to recognize each other out there. So yeah, I think that might be Knife's main, is a Charger main. So I think we might see more of that. I don't know. I really kind of liked what I was seeing from both teams, though. I saw a lot of good teamwork going on together.
Yes. We're loading into match right now in Tower Control Inkblot. Waiting to see what the comps will be. The true moment of faith. Will Knife pull out a sniper or not? And he will, or they.
Yeah, I think once you master the ways of the Charger, or at least get halfway close to it, that's what you stick with. So let's take a quick look at the weapons that everyone is using right now. Give everyone a chance. So yeah, we're seeing more Tri-Slosher. We're seeing Asagi with NZAP 89. Those are actually my two favorite weapons. So I'm always happy to see actually, it's an NZAP 85, I should say. An NZAP 85 and a Tri-Slosher. I play those all the time, so...
Yes, it looks like the Dolphins are pushing up right now, trying to get revenge from last game, but,
here's that Stingray.
Trying to pressure the tower.
Dolphins with two people on the tower. That, of course, helps the tower move a little faster and clear those checkpoints a little faster. So the Dolphins are on the way to the second checkpoint. They are at second checkpoint. They are off the tower right now.
Trying to get that flank, which just gets them off tower, which hopefully can get them at least somewhat of a counter push and take down the flank off. Looks like that push may be coming to an end very soon. Guys are backing up a little bit onto their own plat. Our missile's ready. Hopefully trying to wait for a push. Pop it, and they got retargeted.
So we're seeing the Dolphins again on that push. They are putting that pressure on the Blobfish by continually pushing the objective. Something that often gets forgotten is that there is an objective in this game.
Yes, everyone just thinks kills, but no, there's a thing in towers.
Right now, it looks like the turf control is heavily in the Dolphins' favor.
That could just be the thing that helps the Dolphins go 2-1, hopefully, in this head, but you never know. Knife blowing out the Ray, trying to get the pressure on the flat. Damaging a few people, but sadly no fix.
We're watching Knife right now, defending that tower.
Very well, might we add.
But yeah, we are seeing a lot more pressure coming from the Dolphins in this match.
Looks like they're just trying to get rid of the second checkpoint, but it looks like that second checkpoint for the Dolphins is going to be ruined by the Blobfish getting up to the tower. Two down on instead of Blobfish. Hopefully Dolphins keeps up this push.
Blobfish are doing the return push right now. And it looks like they are working at reasserting coverage. Again, coverage is the key to being able to move around on the map.
Yes, for sure. It looks like they're trying to get fixed and push up. 3 down on the side of Dolphins.
Asagi with Asagi with that nice flank there.
Kind of looks like they're trying to get a missile so that they can put the pressure up as they can on tower. Looks like a wipe is going to be on the side of Blobfish. They just need to get map control, which they're really good at doing, to try and push up again and get them a part of the lead.
So the Dolphins still ahead, but still have 40 seconds left. I'm wondering if we might see overtime in this one.
Yeah, they got 2 down. It's very possible that we can see an overtime coming very soon. I get the Blobfish are just trying their best to get a counter approach, but they just need to try and get map control, which they haven't really did too well recently, but you never know. Splatoon. Looks like we're soon going to be going into an overtime. 3 down on kind of Dolphins if possible. They just need on tower. Ooh.
Blobfish need to get on that tower, and they just took the lead.
They took it.
Right at the end. That was the lead. The Blobfish take the second round. By the narrowest of margins. Holy cow. They kept their eye on that. They kept their eye on that tower, and they just kept going.
This is what I mean whenever I say that it's Splatoon, anything can happen. It looked like that it was pretty even at the end. Like, they had 3 down. There was so much pressure on tower. It looked like they were going to die, but they just barely got the lead.
That I know that was you know I was watching the missiles landing, and it was you know, I'm watching all of the missiles landing around the Blobfish, and but they just kept on that tower. They left it alone just long enough. They didn't get locked off the tower as the overtime started, and that was the right move, and they did a fantastic job. So it is time. It is Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track. For those of you that don't know, this is a play all 3 Swiss opening. You actually do need to play all 3 rounds to do a proper Swiss score, and that's what we are doing today. So in the opening rounds today, you will see everybody playing. You will be seeing everybody playing all 3, regardless of whether it's 2-1 or 2-0. Or, well, if it's 2-1 in 3, then we've made a mistake. But if it's 2-0 or 1-1, it will we will always play the 3rd one, because winning just 1 game in the Swiss placements does give you an advantage when you're seeded for the final. So we do have 5 teams today, and those 5 teams will be whittled down to 4 for our finals.
Yes. It looks like we're loading into Zone's Humpback right now. I really want to see that we get some bomb action. Looks like a Canton Shrek, I hope that I pronounced that at least somewhat right. Pulling out an octopus to hopefully try and get pressure on Zone. 2 down on the side of Dolphins. Looking, which may look like that we have a lead on the side of Blobfish.
So we got Knife in the zone, getting out as the Devilish Dolphins do take the zone. Knife super jumping away. Sometimes it's better to stay alive to fight another day than to die and respawn a lot later.
Yes, for sure. It looks like Knife is pulling out a suction launcher on the zone, but it looks like that they're trying to counter that thing. They Dolphins has to be down on the side of him right now.
Yeah, that's definitely right. The you know, right now it looks like the Blobfish are working on holding that zone. Here comes the Booyah Bomb right into zone. Cast pop in the rain. But Kydro right there with the stop. Dolphins are saying, we want this.
Yeah, for sure. Probably just trying to push as much as they could on the zone no matter what. It looks like that Bullseye and I don't understand how I'm not to say is trying to keep them pushed back so that their teammates can come back in and get down.
Yeah, the Dolphins are definitely working on keeping that zone. Ooh, knife with that snipe. Another snipe. Here comes the suction bomb rush. And the penalty timer about to expire for the Blobfish.
Looks like this may be very bad for Dolphins. This knife just getting all the snipes in the world as they just get a snipe on the side. Just trying to get that zone back, which is at this point, looks very even for both of them, even though that Dolphins have a really good lead.
Yeah, that Booyah Bomb coming in from the Dolphins was very well timed. It was able to put the penalty timer back on the Blobfish, but they are in control, and that penalty timer has been exhausted.
Looks like they may potentially get lead here, but there's about 20 counters left, so you never know.
Here comes that Booyah Bomb. That will probably flip the zone. No, not quite. Not quite.
Like it's only what's another name, sadly. Craft goes down there.
Kachan putting a little bit of pressure on Knife there. Asagi with that crapid saying, no way. Get out of here.
This may be too push the Blobfish, but they may not have enough pressure. 2 down on the side of the Blobfish. This may be game, unless they keep on putting as much pressure to come on zone. Suction launch on zone, maybe.
Oh!
That cap.
Wow. The Blobfish putting that penalty timer right back on. Stopping that runaway clock.
Thought you'd come pressure just like hang on the window.
Blobfish working on defense. The Dolphins are going to have to take back the zone real quick and stop that timer, and they do. Both teams with huge penalty timers. All the Dolphins have to do is hold the zone right now.
Dolphins actually they're going to do really well with that. Not quite capped yet, and it looks like that they they didn't have that cap zone just in time for overtime to begin. I'm honestly quite surprised that happened, that we didn't go into overtime, because for the past 2 games, we all went into overtime, I believe. So, kind of disappointing, but yeah, Dolphins comes back with a game win, which could help them, hopefully, later on after the Swiss rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to say these two teams were very, very well matched as far as how they went, because it was all 5 minutes in both games. There was no quick knockout. There was nothing like that. They fought it out all the way, and that was really nice. So that is the end of our Swiss round here. So with a score of 2-1, the Barbaric Blobfish have taken out the Devilish Dolphins. Currently waiting on results from our other teams that are in progress. The other teams right now are the Clairvoyant Clownfish facing off against the Edgy Emus. Oh my. And with a bye, it is the acidic anemones.
That
Yeah,
that doesn't sound too good.
we've got anemones, we have emus, we have clownfish, blobfish, and dolphins. Some mammals, some birds, and some fish, and yeah, even some. I don't know what is an anemone. I forget what it is. Is it a mollusk? I'm not entirely sure.
All I
Uh,
know is that it's something that little Nemo's go into when
That's
they're.
true. That's true. That's true. That is definitely true. Well, that is the end of Swiss one. So we are waiting to find out how the progress is going for the Clairvoyant Clownfish. I am gonna just break the lobby here so that people aren't just scared and hanging around the whole time. because it is over, and yeah, of course we have had a map change since this lobby was created. So we will wait a little bit for our next match assignment. So I mean, Bankay, what did you think of what was going on in those 3 matches? I know I've got some opinions, but what do you think?
I honestly think that those 2 games they were up intense, especially the zones map zones match because Dolphins these past 2 games they got a lead, they lost it. But in that game, they kept it, and that's what sealed them the win. Even if it was by a few points, they got the win.
Yeah, for me, I really enjoyed watching that Clam Blitz, where the Dolphins came out with that early set of scores, and that was a hell of a push that they started out with, and then all of a sudden, here comes the Blobfish, kind of whittling that down, pushing it as far as they can, and getting those scores to wrap things up. So I enjoyed watching the Clam Blitz match quite a bit too. I saw a lot of great flanks actually going on Inkblot Art Academy. That was pretty good stuff, and that worked out pretty well.
Yes, it definitely did. Although the Inkblot game, all of these rounds were very tense, but the Inkblot game that was very surprising considering that it looked all over the place. Looked like Dolphins was gonna win. Then it looked like the Blobfish are going to come back. They didn't. Dolphins pushed up again. It was all over the place. And then finally, Blobfish come in. They take the overtime win.
Yeah. I mean, I one of the things about this tournament series, for those of you that are new to watching this stream, is that a lot of work is done to balance the teams prior to the matches, and I think we saw the result of that, where we saw a lot of heads up plays coming from both teams. They were both pretty well matched. It was interesting. I was looking at the ranks of the players, on the screen as the matches were ending, and there were S pluses and X's, and the team with 2 S pluses was doing fantastic against the team with all X's. So So I think it was I think there was a lot to be said about how the balancing and how the matchmaking went. There's a heck of a lot that goes into the formula too for the matchmaking. It's not just your rank. Your playstyle actually factors in so that you don't end up with a team of 4 backlines going against a team of 4 slayers. So it's there's a little bit of thought paid to a little bit of attention paid to that. So. So we are waiting for our results from set B, which again is the Clairvoyant Clownfish facing off against the Edgy Emus. I can take a quick look. I can't bring it up on the screen because, of course, Smash.gg has a very strange bracket system, and so it actually doesn't show up that well on the screen, so I've given up on it. But it looks like it looks like it is the Edgy Emus are currently 2-0 over the Clairvoyant Clownfish. So we are waiting on game 3 there, so we will see. Maybe we'll see that. It looks like it is 3-0 Edgy Emus over the Clairvoyant Clownfish, so the Edgy Emus taking that set.
Just then. Just then. Emus win.
You know, as long as as long as it's not the the Lemu emu. Not like I'm advertising insurance or anything like that. I get way too many insurance ads on my YouTube viewing. So let's take a quick look and see who is our next. Waiting on our next assignment. And yes, in the meantime, I am going to set up the next lobby. So give me just a sec on that. And it looks like DJM is going to announce who we're assigned. So let me get you the password band kit so that you can get in here.
That's, you know, what's got to get in there.
You're gonna find out very quickly that I do all kinds of cheap passwords. So.
Oh, don't worry, I do too.
All right, it looks like we have our assignment. We are going to be streaming the Barbaric Blobfish and the Edgy Emus in Swiss Round 2. So let me get everything set up for that. And let me let them know what the password is, because you know, if they don't know the password, they don't get to play, right?
Yeah. No pass, no play. Pass.
No pass, no play. So here comes here we go with Swiss Round 2. We are going to be seeing Starfish Main Stage, Rainmaker, Snapper Canal Clam Blitz, and Gobi Arena Tower Control. I know that Gobi Arena is like a fan favorite, and I say that with so much sarcasm in my voice that that I don't know if you can detect it. But yeah, Rainmaker on Starfish is a pretty classic approach, and that's where we're going to be starting. You know, Snapper Canal. A lot of people complain about Snapper Canal too, but I think there are a lot of opportunities to score, at least in Clam Blitz on that. So.
There should be for Snapper. Snapper is disgusting.
Yeah, there we go. It's the disgusting Snapper.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I believe that the map list is something that Lepto generates, you know, based on, you know, what's currently in rotation, and something that I think Sendu has, and and yeah, every time it's always like, okay, why is this? You know, why is Schellendorf in the rotation again? You know, it's we're doing Schellendorf again. So so the Edgy Emus, let me take a quick look at the we can do a quick look at the team view as well. The Edgy Emus is actually a 5-person team, and so in a 5-person team they have what are called rotational subs. Let's take a quick look and see who the Blobfish and the Emus are. So the Blobfish, again, we've seen Cast the Fae, Knife, Cranksers, and Asagi. Amber, Cheddar. I don't know if it's Cheddar or Chater. I don't know. I am from Wisconsin, so Cheddar is a good thing. We have Umi, Just Umi, Quark, and Kirby. So we are currently waiting on a couple of players to get in here, and we will be ready to go. I think I believe it's just Umi, Quark, and Kirby are the rotational subs on the Edgy Emus.
Yes.
But yeah, Starfish main stage Rainmaker. You know, this is kind of a classic as far as Rainmaker. Although, you know, once they kind of come around the corner there, you know, it can end very quickly, depending on how well you can defend your Rainmaker tower. Cheddar,
Yes.
Cheddar, yes.
Yes. This lobby for me is a little bit more familiar. I believe that Awomi is just near me, but it was just in the chat a few minutes ago. Besides just, you know, Blobfish that we just did, I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces here.
So we will be seeing the Emus and the Blobfish. It is time to get started. So the Blobfish will be on. Here, let me write this down. Yeah, I'm using a pen, believe it or not. Believe it or not, yeah, I have 5 computers in front of me and I'm using a pen. So the Blobfish will be on Alpha and the Emus will be on Bravo. Let's get everyone set up. So the Emus has Cheddar. There is no Team Charlie, although I do like Team Charlie. So let's go with this. So it is Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. I'm Zada. I have Bankid in the commenting booth with me, although I'm sure our booths are several hundred or 1,000 miles away. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. It is time for Swiss round 2. And yes, Rainmaker on Starfish main stage to start out.
I personally don't really like Rainmaker Starfish as much as the other modes on Starfish, but it's still a good mode to play on. I think personally it's really intenseful, especially whenever you get around to their pit, which is just behind where snipers would typically perch himself. I think that that once you hit there, that's a really intenseful spot whenever you hit, especially if the enemy hits it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. If the enemy takes the snipe, we've got, you know, you've definitely got problems. All right, let's do this, guys. It is Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. Take a quick look at the weapon choices here. Yep, we're seeing those custom dually squelchers on both teams. We're seeing the snipers on both teams.
Yes, this looks like a kind of, not really too common, but, you know, a little common conflict of the teams, especially for the Emus. Amber, popping the Rainmaker suit right there, they potentially probably going to get a quad or wipe here. Looks like they do. So it's going to come to their pit, so you gotta try and get a good lead.
So Umi currently with the Rainmaker making that push in.
They push it up as much as they can.
Ooh, is this going to be the cap?
Yeah, maybe.
And it's the cap. Wow, that was quick. You know, that's the thing about Rainmaker. It can go about as fast as you can imagine. So in our first match, yes, it is the Edgy Emus taking it. So let's take a look at our next map choice. So coming up next, yes, it is Snapper Canal. Snapper Canal Clam Blitz. I'm sure everybody is excited about this. You know, I almost to the point where I don't want to choose Clam Blitz.
Hey, I'm ecstatic for this.
Everybody loves this. But yeah, that Rainmaker match, you know, that is the thing about Rainmaker. It can be over in 30 seconds. You know, if you get a good push and you get some good picks, that is the end of Rainmaker. There is no going back once that Rainmaker is sitting on the podium. So let's lock things down for our teams as we go to Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal.
As all of you must know, unless you just joined the stream, then you most likely don't know. I do not like this map mode combo, so I'm gonna be a little like, you know, if I'm not ever quiet, it's because I'm crying. But
crying on the inside.
so yes, but yeah, we're gonna be loading in very soon. I think that Amber is probably gonna be sticking to this app because that's a really good weapon overall, and especially on Clam Blitz as well. So I'm just curious if we're going to see another knockout like how we did in the first game, but we may not. You know, again, it's Splatoon. It's also Clam Blitz, so.
Yeah, Splatoon Clam Blitz, this it could go the whole 5 minutes. Actually, I kind of hope it goes the whole 5 minutes because it makes for much more interesting broadcasting.
The Amber is keeping that zap. Looks like there isn't much of a change on Emus except for I believe there's no longer a backline for them, and same for Blobfish. There's no longer backline for one, but yeah. Ooh, Quark taking down the Soggy. Hopefully they can get a good push in. They just need a new power clam. Maybe a little grenade there, but
yeah, the emus definitely have the advantage in clams right now. And here comes Quark with that power clam. It is up to the Blobfish to defend at this point. And wow, Amber pushing lots of the small clams right into that basket, but it looks like the emus have been held back, and the Blobfish are working on a little bit of coverage.
No quick KO sadly for this game, but looks like Umi takes down the brush trying to get a flank on their sneaky. Blobfish takes 2 down on Emus, hopefully meaning that they can get a quick push in. This Emus just playing really defensively right now, trying to make sure that they don't lose the lead to the Blobfishes.
So currently, nobody has any clams. The Blobfish have about 8 clams now. Right now, it is just who can. Well, it looks like the Blobfish have made a power clam. The Blobfish, with lots of clams at this point, they are working on it. Cass getting stopped. Ooh, both clams getting stopped.
Very close to getting a push there on the side of. On the side of the Blobfish thing, but sadly not. Emus just barely take it there. Emus trying to get more map coverage, trying to push up again, even more bleed probably.
Still working on building some clams. The Blobfish have built a clam. Cass coming in with the throw. That is going to be some points on the board for the Blobfish. But the Emus are right there to defend, and that is going to be a 1 clam push as the defense offense continues.
Kind of like out of phase here now. Ooh, the rush on side of the Blobfish tries to get Cheddar, but sadly does not. So he's getting a pick on the Cheddar. This may be the push that Blobfish needs today. Amber takes down Soggy right near their snipe.
Cass is coming in with that. Oh, and the power clam goes right into the water. Always unfortunate when that happens, when your team, there's no way to pick that one back up.
Not very strong of a progress for his Blobfish, but his Time Blitz, Splatoon, two things that's very unpredictable.
So the Blobfish, this is their chance. This is their chance. They have 3 down on the Emus.
This may just be lead.
This might be lead if they can stay alive long enough.
And get as many clams as they need.
They just need another clam in there to hold it open, but they aren't going to be able to get one in. Oh, it was so close.
Knife tries so hard, but sadly not into anything. But that's more progress that they need. Knife coming in with a new power clam, takes down the Umi. Almost got enough to get one in. Cannot trying to be the hero. Sadly, not getting a triple team by Emu.
Oh my gosh! All the super jumps coming in.
Yeah, I doubt that they're gonna come back. From that.
We're waiting for that overtime to wrap up. But yes, it is going to be the Emus taking this second round. As we move on.
Looks like that the Emus will be taking this set. But again, that does not mean that the set is over quite yet. We still have, I believe, Tower Control on Rainmaker. I mean, not Tower Control on Rainmaker. Rainmaker on Gobi Arena. So,
I believe it's Tower Control on Gobi Arena. Let me just double check the map list and make sure I didn't make a mistake. It is Tower Control on Gobi Arena, but no, Tower Control on Rainmaker might actually be a better thing than Tower Control on Gobi Arena, to be honest with you. You know, the thing about Tower Control on Gobi Arena, the vertical motion of the tower, you know, if you get knocked off the tower at the wrong time, it takes a long time to get back on the tower, or you have to let the tower start to reset, which can be very painful and can cost a lot of time. So it is certainly one of those things where I don't know, this map is interesting in a lot of ways, and you know, I of course use interesting to mean many different things, so we will see how Tower Control on Gobi Arena goes. Let's get things locked down here. I will let me bring up our team view yet again so we can take a look at our players. Yes, we have the Barbaric Blobfish and the Edgy Emus.
I personally think that this may sadly be a 3-0 in favor of the Emus, but you never know. Again, it's Splatoon. We also thought about that for last set, Dolphins against Blobfish, but they thankfully just took the set there, so took the win there. But you never know. Again, Splatoon, Tower Control. I'm not gonna be surprised if Amber doesn't go Zap here because of the fact that they can get so easily knocked off if they're on the right spot for Gobi. Which, like you said, if you get knocked off, you have to take like at least 15 seconds to get over there. Given that no one's trying to hunt you down.
Yeah, if you're lucky, no one is hunting you down. All right, here we go, guys. It is the Blobfish facing off against the Emus. Let's take a quick look here at what everyone is playing. So yeah, we are seeing those custom dually squelchers again on each side. You know, a lot of painting weapons. Umi with the sniper, Knife with the Kashin.
That surprised me, knowing that Knife went sniper for this last set for Tower Control. looks like that the Blobfish may be getting a push here, but Amber trying to get a flank in. 3 down on the Blobfish. That means that Emu may get the lead back here, but
Yep, they are letting that tower is. They're actually pushing the tower back, back to the mid. And as usual, there is a lot of skirmishing going on right in mid. As we wait to see how the Emus will react, but currently it is the Blobfish. Oh boy, that Quirk. I think Quirk was in danger there when 3 players on the Blobfish were going after him. Here comes that Stingray. Oh my God, Stingray on the tower. There's that problem again with that tower. You know, you hit a Stingray on it, and if you have to drop down, it is a complicated process to get back on the tower. You have to wait for it to come down, or you have to move all over the map. And Knife going down on the tower. It looks like the Emus are doing a really good job of defending their position.
Emu's trying their best to get them out, but it looks like that isn't really happening right now. The Emus are just trying to get pushed back in the mid, get back to the game, and yeah, hopefully you'll be here, but no.
And here we go, the Emus again on defense. Still have 2 minutes left though.
2 minutes could just be what the Emus need to try and push up.
There is still plenty of time to ride that tower. And the tower is resetting to mid. Quirk aiming there at the squeezer. Yes, the squeezer being Asagi. Asagi super jumping out of there. And here comes a hard tower push. This is a really, you know, they've got a lot of personnel on that tower right now. They are clearing that checkpoint. That is what they needed. That is what they needed. Cranks are staying alive, and that is a knockout. The Blobfish coming back at the end with a knockout.
They just getting their revenge for first game there.
That's right. Yeah, that you know, and of course, you know, Clamblitz. Yeah, you need to get revenge for Clamblitz. So, with that score of 2-1, the Emus take the set. But again, Swiss scoring. It's very important to get all the scores in. So the Barbaric Blobfish getting 1 round off of the Emus. So the Emus, you know, were going undefeated for a little while, but that is the first loss that I believe the Emus have had today. The Barbaric Blobfish that's their 3rd win. So it is definitely moving along as we go forward. So currently waiting on our results from the other team. It looks like it is the acidic Anemone facing off against the Devilish Dolphins. Let's take a look back at the maps and let's see where we were and what we saw. So yeah, that Starfish main stage Rainmaker, again, it's Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. What more can you say with that fast knockout that we saw? Of course, Snapper Canal, Clamblitz, you know, that kind of going to the bitter end with a great attempt at chain jumping in right at the tail end. But, you know, it was just too much for the Blobfish. The Emus were doing a great job on defense there. And then, yeah, the Blobfish saying, you know what, we are taking one out of this set. On Gobi Arena, we need it, we want it, we're going, and they put all their personnel on the tower to keep the pressure on the Emus. So that was a lot of good stuff to see.
They said, I'm done, you know, I'm done playing around, we ain't playing around anymore. And then they come back with a whole knockout once again, as I said, getting revenge on the first game. and Starfish Rainmaker, and then also getting revenge from just Clam Blitz being Clam Blitz.
You know, it's something about playing Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. I think everyone always feels like they need to take a shower afterwards anyway. It just doesn't feel like, it always feels like, you know, whether you win or lose, it always feels like it was just a mess every time. So, but yeah, it's you know, again, I think you know, we saw a lot of the facets of how this game works in these 3 rounds. I mean, Starfish main stage, that quick Rainmaker cap, you know, just a demonstration why Rainmaker can be the absolute fastest mode in the entire game. You know, if you get the right picks and you clear the right path, you know, it's game over for the other team. You know, Snapper Canal Blitz, again, what we're seeing is, you know, both teams were able to get points on the board, but, you know, it was just a lot of slogging through the mid and you know, deaths and killing and deaths, and, you know, kind of, it almost felt like you get nowhere in that particular map and mode. And that's another Splatoon highlight, is sometimes it feels, you know, it really doesn't end up getting decided until the last, you know, few seconds, regardless of what mode it is. It isn't just Turf War that ends in the last 30 seconds. So, you know, and then Gobi Arena again, we're seeing there where, you know, the pushes were strong, but if they got knocked off that tower and had to go after it made it up onto the stage, it's just yeah. It is just a matter of putting that, you have to keep that pressure on, you have to keep super jumping in, you have to keep getting those picks so that they can't get you off the tower with the Stingray. So I think what we saw was a lot of really good examples of how this game works. Good news, it looks like we have results from our other match that was in process. It looks like the Acidic Anemone and the Devilish Dolphins, it looks like the Devilish Dolphins took the set, and the Devilish Dolphins, apparently it's been finalized, and it says that it was 2-0. So I don't know if they did their third match or not. So we will have to find out from our TOs. But the Devilish Dolphins did take that. Coming up next, we are waiting for our match assignment, and then we will go on from there. It will be either the Acidic Anemone versus the Clairvoyant Clownfish, or the Devilish Dolphins versus the Emus, the Edgy Emus, that is.
Edgy.
They are edgy. So I believe, though, we will find out who we get. So I'm waiting on that. I can switch us over though, so we can take a quick look at the next group, or at the next map. So our next maps are Splat Zones on Blackbelly Skate Park. Ooh, the double zone.
Yay.
Rainmaker on Anchovy Games, which again can be very interesting because there are a couple different ways that you can take it. And yes, Clam Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy.
Yes. Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I seeing? What am I seeing in the chat? There was an issue with Smash.gg. Round 2 is still going on. So we still have to wait on round 2. DJam did a dumb and set it to best of 3 instead of play all 3 XD. Hashtag blame DJam. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rose, for that. Oh my
Great
God.
job.
Oh, we got real problems now. Yes. I think when you start calling out the TO, then you know you've got well, you know you're taking a risk is really what it is at that point.
Yes. Make a run at TOs, man. You know, just.
Yep, yeah. Sky coming in there with the hashtag too. I don't know. I think we're gonna have some problems. I don't know. I'm you know, am I getting the phone call from the TO to tilt the match? I don't know. Oh man. So yeah, we are currently waiting then on the final result of that to find out whether it will be a 2-0 or or a 2-1 or a 3-0. That is what we are waiting for on that. We will wait for our next match assignments in the meantime. So yeah, it's dangerous to go alone, January 2021 edition. And yeah, it is. We're only about an hour into the tournament, and we've already completed 2 of the Swiss rounds, or mostly completed the first 2 Swiss rounds. There are 4 Swiss rounds, and then we will go into a semifinal and final stage. Yes, Cheddar has rejoined because I didn't remake the lobby, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
fine. Don't tell anyone.
I just did. It's fine. Oh, and there goes Cheddar.
Let's hope we don't get hunt down in the chat for saying that.
Yeah, you know, I'm always getting hunted down in the chat. So it looks like it will be the acidic anemones versus the clairvoyant clownfish. So let me ping them. The acidic anemone and the clairvoyant clownfish is the same because I was lazy. And let me get the next round set up so we can do a quick look there. So Swiss round 3 coming up, and it will be the acidic anemone facing off against the clairvoyant clownfish. Nothing like a little bit of clairvoyance going on, of course.
Especially in chat right now, there's a war.
We'll reset the scores so that we don't preload the scores for everybody. That would be throwing the election a little bit here. We'll just set the scores to start out with. Oh my gosh, yes. So let's take a look at the teams. We can take a quick look at the teams and see who our teams are here. So the acidic anemone, we haven't seen either of these teams yet, so this will be new for both of us. But I've seen the players.
Seeing Frosh, I immediately think of, I believe, Frosh from Xanadu. But it's not the same person. So, sadly. Here.
So yeah, we are, so Epic has been a longtime player in the Off the Dial tournament series. Fosh, I believe, was in our very last tournament, as I recall. So yeah, I'm and Lunar, I know has been around. Was Lunar? Wait a minute. Lunar's back. Lunar was supposed to be subbed out, but apparently Lunar is back in. I can fix that too. That's always the fun part. Yeah, there are usually a lot of subs that happen right before the start of the the stream, and I thought that Lunar was on the list, but Lunar is basically back. So Mixer Blaze was the original sub, but Lunar is back, so I can update that. And then I will just save the players so that it stays right. See, look at that. It actually works. Oh, so we are currently waiting on one member of each team. I've actually met Strider before from the Clairvoyant Clownfish. I met him at G7. He was playing with the Dredgelords, actually, I believe, at the time, or at least members of the Dredgelords, so... Way back in my days, yeah. I haven't been to a LAN since last January, so, and that was G7 out in California, out in Oakland.
I've never been to a LAN.
You know, I highly recommend it, Bandkid. It is a lot of fun. You get to actually face off for real against the people that you're playing. So it is
face to face.
Face to face. It is face to face. It is you can give them the stink eye and they'll give you the stink eye, and away we go. So so let me get things dialed up here for our first map. Yeah, our first map, as we were saying here. Let me. I am really slow about things right now. It is always a matter of choosing the right scene. Our first map, of course, is Splat Zones on Black Belly Skate Park. Yeah, this is
yes.
This is an interesting one for me. You know, the double zones mean there's a lot of contention, a lot of back and forth, and so it's pretty interesting to see how that goes. We're gonna put the anemones on the on Alpha, and we are going to put the Clownfish on Bravo. I think I've got that right.
It looks like it.
I certainly
It looks like it.
I hope so. Because that's where we're going. But yeah, it is splat zones on Blackbelly Skate Park. That dual zone, you know, it's interesting. If you can control the mid tower, you know, you have a really good chance of winning the match very quickly. But it can be really tricky, and you know, I've found that myself a lot of times I'll play one of the junior variants on this one, and I will flank all the time. So I'm always going into flank and then trying to come from the back end to cover things. And so it's but you know, strangely enough, you can get on top of that tower with the junior and cover both zones pretty well. So it's interesting. I've always found this one very interesting. We are currently waiting for...
can't wait.
No, there you are. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, we are currently waiting on the... we are currently waiting for everyone to lock down right now. Let's, again, take a look at our teams today. It is the acidic anemone against the clairvoyant clownfish. You know, is the plural of anemone anemones? I'm not sure. Or is it always a mass noun? I'm never quite sure.
I don't want to think about it. It's English. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, that is true. It is a dumb language. I will say that.
Nothing. All right. So let me get hopefully we get some go to competition here. Ooh. We see Sky pulling, I believe that's Sky. That's the only one that is his name, so yeah, hopefully pulling up the knot. Potsy on 12.5% long, pulling up K-Top, Lunar pulling up K-Pro, Strider falling with the Price Locker and the Toxie as well. Double on them. Looks like that the Anemone are going to hopefully be taking a good lead here.
Yep, the Anemone's working on getting that coverage. Epic working on getting coverage in the enemy zone.
Bosch is trying to keep it down on mid, top mid.
And it looks like the Clownfish are pushing their way in.
They're still bay on Ovade, just boxing away as they can up there. 2 down on the side of Clairvoyant, if I saw the right, Clownfish. 1 going down from Bosch's K Dynamo there. Bosch is putting as much pressure as possible on the map.
That Kensa Dynamo making some trouble as always. It's very Kensa Dynamo is actually really good on this map.
Yes, it is for sure. Strider trying to fight for their own zone. Going up to mid now. This may or not. There's a life on the side of Clownfish, meaning that Anemone can push up once again. Two hiding in the bubble pop. The guy may possibly be game there's knockout or not.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. Could it be? Could it?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Oh.
Wow, the acidic anemones getting the knockout. Yeah, I always love seeing the Tri-Slosher take down the Inkjet. I don't like anything that flies in this game. As I like to say, if it flies, it dies. And, you know, I certainly don't enjoy watching that happen, but...
So Bay just loves bullying.
So coming up next, yeah, it's Rainmaker on Anchovy Games. So that, that was a good end to Blackbelly Skate Park. It was a case of being able to take that central tower and just just hold it as long as possible. And I saw some pretty good flanks and a little bit of sharking here and there to prevent the Clairvoyant Clownfish from actually getting to the zones. So that definitely worked out in the favor of the acidic Anemone.
Yes, for sure. It was really hard for the Clownfish to try and push up there, and it's gonna be probably even harder on Anchovy Games Rainmaker. But you never know. You just gotta perch up. Throw bombs.
Pretty much, yeah. Get those bombs going, and away you go. So yeah, Anchovy Games Rainmaker. This is always interesting because of all the moving parts of the stage. And if the lifts aren't quite in the right place, sometimes it can slow you down a little bit with the Rainmaker push. I always find this one interesting. But I also find it a dangerous map because if the other team is able to camp you into your spawn, you're gonna have a lot of problems.
Yes, especially if they camp you in. If you camp you in, that's gonna be very hard for you to push up for.
Oh yes, it's the sound of chirping birds. We can hear the
love
sound of chirping birds.
I didn't know that it's in the morning. Well, I mean, everyone's in the morning for DJam, I believe.
I know it's early for DJam. Yeah, I get it. At night here, there's an owl that lives outside, and I will occasionally hear the hoot owl, but but no, I don't usually.
It's not night right now. It's not night.
I don't usually hear this kind of bird unless I'm streaming Splatoon at night.
So yeah, you get double the bird. Double the bird. Yeah,
double the bird.
I'm not gonna be surprised if Sky tries and keeps her not on this side. Looks like Sky does keep her not. Itachi going the T-Tech, Lunar going K-Pro, and Strider going the Tri-Slash and the Vu. Epic going the Inzap 85, Disobey going the Squisho 7, I believe. Fosh going the Hero Carter, and Mia going the Foil for Squeezer. Looks like Strider falls down into, I believe it's double team on him. 2 down on it of Clownfish. This may be a good push for Epic with 2 down. Looks like they may be going left to the arcade. Or it's a fan. Strider takes down the Rainmaker.
And meanwhile, it looks like Sky is just defending the Rainmaker at this point. Looking for that reset. Oh, no, they are taking it. Lunar with the Rainmaker, they are going to not get as far as they wanted. Mia
it's
coming
possible,
up.
Though. Very much possible. Mia coming with flank from the behind, pressuring as much as they can. Takes down Strider with the Rainmaker. Looking like a 4v3 right now. They may not. This may potentially get an opportunity for them to get even more lead, but
it is Rainmaker. It's not over until the Rainmaker is sitting on the enemy's podium.
We're until the podium. Putting some pressure. Looks like they're going through the Anemone are going through their fan. Clownfish can on the Rainmaker, as we should. Throwing a lot of bombs at their head. Rainmaker falls down.
And it looks like we are seeing the Anemones super jumping in. They're going to get the pop.
This may be
and the Anemones just kind of making a sneaky push. Picking away.
Strider kind of, oh, Strider falls down to Mia's bubble. Looks like that. They're going to hopefully try and get them out of their base, but Mia falling back a little there. No chance to get them away from even more progress. So just like how you said, Data, you like, you know, you push up into their base, that's gonna be hard for them to come back from.
Yep. It looks like the Stingray is coming out, and that might be the end of that push. Ooh! Itachi going down to disobey there. Finding Itachi in the ink.
Looks like trying to pop the Rainmaker. Mia trying to pressure or trying to get Strider, which does not happen. Strider falls down to Epic's Zap. Epic trying to get a bit more map control and comes across a Jed, which he survives on.
Lunar with that K-Pro. They are working, currently it looks like the Clownfish are working on getting a little bit more map control. They finally get some points on the board.
Better than nothing.
Hey, that is, sometimes you just need to get that first point on the board for the rest of them to start falling into place.
Yeah, still pretty much possible. Neon, the enemy is arcade, trying to be as much pressure as they can from that side. Mia able to stay in line a lot for long, but not for much longer. That takes her down.
Epic making that solo push. Yeah, Mia with that squeezer definitely doing a lot of work and staying alive for a really long time in the enemy territory. So here comes the counter push. Here comes those extra points that that the Clownfish are looking for. Which direction are they gonna go? There are a couple. Are they gonna take it stupid? I have a friend who calls that stupid. That route, the route on the fan.
You're not wrong. That was very hard for them to try and get
It is a fun route to take if you can actually make it work, and it can be really surprising. But yeah, the Anemones are going to take that round, and it's not the people that take it that route. It's the route that itself is just kind of on that stupid side. But it is stupid good if you can make it work. So that is a for sure. That is a for sure. So let's take a look at our final map of this Swiss round. It is Inkblot Art Academy Clam Blitz. So let's dial that in. Wow. So after that, that was actually a really good Rainmaker match. A lot of defense on that one though. So it was definitely a defense oriented match.
Yes, especially on the side of Clownfish. They were just trying to get them out, but as you said again, once they push in, they will not be leaving for a while on Anchovy, especially for Rainmaker. It's very hard for you to try and push them out, so, all you gotta do is bomb.
So Clam Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy. I don't know, this feels like, this one always feels like you die a lot on this one, or at least I do. I think I just never know how to push in right in order to do it. But yeah, it's this is also one of those maps where if the enemy team is able to get far enough up into your territory, they can make defending very difficult.
Yes. I'm not gonna be surprised if we get a more dedicated backline on one of these teams again, because having a backline, especially like a weapon like Hydra, if any of them use it, is probably going to be a very detrimental thing to have, or a long-range weapon in general that can try and help them with defense. But if Sky were to keep it, not that could be possible because, you know, Not can pull out the anchor roll if it needs to.
So yeah, we will see. We will see what comes here. I know Epic's play style, and he'll probably stick with an NZAP or a junior on this. So and I know that I'm sure Strider's going to be going after some slaying here. So I think I don't know. I think we're going to see a pretty good match.
Yes, it's very much possible. It's possible. Hopefully. Fox pulling out a bamboo, and Sky keeping the knot for the whole set.
Nice.
Sky obviously dealing with that knot. Tashi with the Neo crossing is not going to do anything. Lunar with the K-Pro, Strider with the Junior, Epic with the Zap, Disobey with Sploosh, Fox with Bamboo, obviously, and Neo sticking with the Squeezer. Two down on the side of Clownfish. Looks like there's maybe a very early lead for
those bubbles, Mia's bubbles. That opened up an opportunity for the basket, and they are pushing in with those clams. They're taking it already down to 38. Wow.
This could possibly be a quick match.
It could be, although it looks... Yep, Fosh there. Fosh trying to get a few more in. Mia's still up. Mia down. It looks like wow.
The end of the push.
That will be the end of the push, but with 77 points right off the bat, that is going to be a lot for the Clownfish to come back against.
Yes. Tashi pressing what they can on their court, backing up a little bit to their own court. Instead popping their armor to maybe get a counter push, hopefully.
So it looks like they are going to try and bring two power clams in. Itachi going down, Lunar going down, Strider going down. Oh no, everybody went down.
Looks like there may be a new push on the way for Anemone if they get a claim soon. Or they may potentially just get map control play defensively.
Anemones are currently in the driver's seat. Mia landing those shots with the squeezer.
Mia running into bomb weakened by a bot. She falls to Strider Junior. Strider going through the wall. Trying to put as defensive as possible. Taking down two people. Epic as boss. They're trying to get pain against them, and they can hopefully get a push from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Strider doing everything possible there to give an advantage to the Clownfish. We are in our third match of this play all three Swiss round.
They may be getting a push here. It looks like it's very much possible on Clownfish's side. They just be like, you know.
It is currently it's definitely a battle for mid right now.
Yes, it's a big battlefield over there. Looks like it's just from Mia and Moon on, I believe, left 3 or something like that.
So we've got 3 power clams right now for the Clownfish. Will they be able to make that coordinated push and take it down to 40? Here comes the first.
They getting a... Oh, okay.
A little bit of clam shuffling.
Oh yeah, that clam shuffling over there. Sadly, it's the fall of Sky. Maybe that's the end of the push, but clam blitz soon. Both two things that are unexpected for. And Lunar making a pretty mid, meeting guy Clownfish may not get a push. So looks like there's 3 down on both of both of the teams. Fox backing up a little bit.
Yep, Fosh keeping two of those clams alive. Those missiles, of course, making it easier to track the other team and make them go into disarray. Huge coverage right now. Huge coverage battle still in mid. The Clownfish have 1 power clam on the field. The Anemones have 2. Make that 1.
Possible for an overtime win here if they just try and get as many picks and clams as possible. Looks like they're trying to go for the push here. Ooh, just obey getting a double with the stamp. It looks like there's going to be a wipe on the side of the enemies, meaning, wait, no, not enemies. Clownfish, which means that that's game.
That is
Clownfish
going to be
takes his
game.
bet.
That is going to be game. So the acidic anemones are going to take this set with a score of 3-0. GG's, of course, to the Clairvoyant Clownfish as well. And that is going to be the end of Swiss round number 3. So we are still waiting on results from our other match that is in process. Or in progress, I should say. I guess it is in process or progress. It depends on on how you feel about it. It is the Devilish Dolphins facing off against the Edgy Emus. Currently it is 2-0 in favor of the Devilish Dolphins. So we'll see if the Emus can get in another W. It looks like the team balancing is working the way it was supposed to. Doesn't look like anyone's completely running away with everything right now.
Yes, right now we only are approaching our last round in the in Swiss, meaning that very soon we'll be going to a single elim, I believe. I could be wrong. Top cut.
Yep, Top Cut is single elimination. It is a best of 5 single elimination. So the bracket will be seeded as as the typical 1, 4, 2, 3. As far as the rankings after the Swiss scoring, and then yes, it will be best of 5 in both the semifinal and the final rounds. We will stream one of the semifinals, and then of course we will stream the finals as well. Bandkid and I will be going into the background and we'll be adding in Kraken Mare and Adam will be coming in as well to do our finals commentary.
Adam or crit.
Adam or crit. So yeah, you won't have to listen to me flub my way through this whole thing. But yeah, it's it looks like we have a result. The Devilish Dolphins have taken their set 3-0 over the Edgy Emus. We are getting our match assignment now for round 4. We'll either be showing the Clairvoyant Clownfish versus the Barbaric Blobfish, or the Edgy Emus against the acidic Anemones. We will wait for our assignment. It looks like DJM will be giving that to us. But yes, the Devilish Dolphins will have a bye in the next round. So we are getting ready for Swiss round 4. I can bring up the map for that. Give me just a second. So Swiss round 4 is tower control on Piranha Pit, Splat Zones on Manta Maria, and Rainmaker on the Reef. So these seem a little bit more playable, maybe?
Potentially. I mean, personally, I don't see zones Manta Maria ran that much on tournaments, but, we crazy out here. But, yeah, I can't wait to see how Monta Splat Zones will be playing in the second game of this round. and the Dark Control Pronipit, and then Rainmaker Reeve. So yeah.
The question is always, are there going to be playable maps? And that's always that's always a
Yes.
very good question.
That's the question.
So we will wait for the match assignment from DJam so that we know which one we are going to do. There are literally like a dozen chats that I have to look in. So it's always kind of fun. Oh my gosh. I see DJam typing. This is good. This is a good thing. You know, we aren't going to just blame DJam. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
We gotta get a drum roll in here. Ooh, looks like we're going to be playing with the Clairvoyant Clownfish once again, and the Barbaric Blobfish also.
All right. All right. So I will get everyone loaded in here. And they already know the password because we haven't changed it yet. Because why break a good lobby when you don't have to, right?
Yes. This is a very good lobby, so
I'm gonna dial in tower control on Piranha while we wait for the Barbaric Blobfish and the Clairvoyant Clownfish. Yeah, it's the battle of the fish.
Battle of the fish.
It is the battle of the fish. Remember in the famous words of President George W. Bush, I believe that the human being and fish can coexist peacefully. So
and this game just proves it even more.
It does. It does. George W. Bush was right. I guess. The squids and the kids can coexist peacefully in this game, at least. So. Blame Lepto. There it is. Blame Mike
Lepto.
people. Blame Mike people.
Mike people.
We're Mike people. We are now Mike people. I actually I'll live with it. I can live with being a Mike person.
I'm fine with that. Why not? Just take away my role as a human being. I live in a mic now. I live in a microphone.
So we have the Clownfish already in. We are just waiting on the Blobfish. We can take a quick look and see who is on these teams. We have seen them before, but we all have to remember. So we have on the Blobfish, we have Cass, Knife, Cranksters, and Asagi. And yes, over on the Clownfish, it's Strider, Itachi, Lunar, and Sky.
I can't wait to see how this is going to be played out for the Clownfish and the Blobfish. Fish.
Yeah.
Fish word.
We will give the Blobfish a couple seconds to, well, probably more than a couple seconds. No breaks. Yeah, I'm seeing Just Umi in the chat. We get no breaks in this one. There will be a break between the the Swiss rounds and the finals. But yeah, we currently have a 5-team field that we are working on getting down to 4 for the finals, and so it is every Swiss score counts, and that's why we're doing play all 3, because you get a point for each match you win, and then you also get points for the set. So if you think of it like the Electoral College of the scoring world, and so we need to make sure that that all of the votes are counted and that we can move on from there. All right, it looks like we have everybody here. We are ready for, yes, tower control on Piranha Pit. It is going to be the Blobfish facing the Clownfish. Barbarians versus Clairvoyants.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's amazing how it remembered what team everyone else was on from the last time. So on Alpha, we will have the Blobfish. On Bravo, we will have the Clownfish. Let's lock this down. Tower control on Piranha Pit coming up now. Oh boy. So, this is one of those maps too where if the tower gets away from you, if you let the tower get too far into your territory, you're going to have a lot of problems just because of the way that everyone starts to array, in the enemy team starts to defend the tower as it's moving. And so I think, this is one where you really need to keep the tower at mid as long as you possibly can until you're ready to make a push.
Yes, Piranha Pit tower control, at least in my my humble experience in it. I personally, the thing that is really, I guess, seals the game is coordination between my teammates, because I mean, obviously that's like the whole point of Splatoon is coordination, but especially on Piranha Pit tower control, you need like a lot of coordination here. So it's gonna be tough for both teams, I feel like. But
yeah, this map again, yeah, coordination. You're right. It's the absolute key. If you can't coordinate with your team, it's just going to get away from you really quick. That there isn't much time, between the last checkpoint and the final goal.
There isn't much time in Splatoon, period.
That's true. That's true. And so it is one of those cases where if you're wiped if your team is wiped while the other team has it on that last checkpoint, there's no real way to recover. There's just no way out.
Yes, it's just like with Splatoon, just like how multiple songs in the game is called "It's Now or Never."
That's true.
That's the last 30 seconds.
That is 100% true. So it looks like we have kind of a different set of comps facing off against each other. These are, again, we're seeing we are seeing Knife with that sniper again, and we're seeing Sky with the Nautilus, but it looks interesting. It looks like this is going to be very interesting, and we already have the Clownfish pushing that tower right away.
Yes, it looks like that. Lucky with the they're trying to push up as much as they can, trying to pick up Sky, which is currently on the tower, but sadly does not. It looks like there's only one left on the side of Clownfish.
So the Clownfish are still pushing. Lunar is working on taking everybody out that is approaching the tower, but the Blobfish are currently on the tower and they are pushing it, but it looks like that has just changed.
Clownfish are being very coordinated over here, pushing up into if they can, trying to get as much lead as possible on against the Blobfish.
Ooh, and all of the Clownfish went down. They did get a push all the way to 61, so they cleared that first checkpoint. But the Blobfish are pushing, and they are getting their first points on the board.
Down on the side of Clownfish, maybe a very good pushing opportunity for the Blobfish. Nice pulling out a Ray, hopefully trying to get the pick so they're up a little.
Knife with that Ray.
He might be able to pull out the new. Oh! Sadly not able to pull out one of his quick knives that he loved.
So the Blobfish making it to the checkpoint, but the Clownfish there to say, nope, we're taking it back now.
Yes, one down on the side of Blobfish, pushing up now and trying to get into onto the tower, but sadly does not. Clownfish trying to get even more of a lead on them. Maybe Looks
Wow,
like we're getting more than 3
Itachi.
points. Itachi getting to a triple with the Dynamo.
Here comes that tower pressure again. We can see the Clownfish there putting that intense pressure on the tower, keeping it in play, keeping it moving, painting from the tower and making sure that it's really hard. You know, right now it's only Sky that's alive on the tower, I believe.
They're probably gonna continue to market fingers. With only 18 left, they're gonna. It looks like that right now. Strider trying to be careful, but now we fall to Sniper. Currently, Sniper, because I'm not right, trying to get even more at least some more progress on against the Clownfish.
Strider taking down 2 of the Blobfish, triple.
Itachi really is over here popping off, getting as many kills as possible. Itachi's not here for it's not here to play around. They're here and they're trying to get many kills as quick as possible. Taking down the tank. I'm not gonna say can, I'm gonna say can. They're trying to put on tower. Sadly, not enough for them to try and keep the push going. Falling down to try to Shredder's try. Shredder's trying to make sure that they don't get much more bleed and trying to get some buffs.
You got Strider there coming in and working on getting everyone off the tower and away from the tower. We've got a super jump coming in right now on the tower. Knife with the Stingray protecting the tower and the push, but the Clownfish getting right back on.
It was Hoggy getting knocked off by Strider's try there, meaning that now that it's game and Clownfish takes the first game in round 4. But that was a very close game. I'm not gonna be surprised if we get a we get a reverse sweep coming from
Blobfish. Right now I think it's anybody's game. So let's see where we are at next. So coming up next on our maps, it is. This is where I have to remember how to do it. It is time for Manta Maria Splat Zones. Wow, so another double zone map. This one's a little tougher to control both zones, even though it's still similar mechanics to Black Belly Skate Park as far as having a central tower or a central overlook. But this one can be a little bit more difficult to control because of the different routes that you have into the zones. At least that's been my experience. I tend to just I tend to arm up with a custom junior and just let my teammates slay, and then I keep the 2 zones painted. That's what I tend to do. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. So I think these teams may have a little bit more advanced technique than that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, splat zones on Manta Maria, the double zones. Again, there are opportunities for flanking on this map. So I would expect to see a couple of those, a couple of flanks occur as we go throughout.
Yes. I think that Knife is probably going to stick with the Fire Fin without this, because we've always seen Knife going a Fire Fin or just scope in general throughout the tournament. So they're most likely, hopefully, going to be going Fire Fin this game.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Knife sticking with that. Although, you know, Knife has been switching off quite a bit today. A lot of different options that we've seen from Knife. I mean, even to the Kashin. So it's been
Yes.
interesting for sure.
Ooh, I saw you pulling out the exploiter, and it looks like Knife is not going to be pulling out the sniper. It looks like Knife's going to be pulling out the T-Tech instead.
Ooh.
Taki going at the beast battling. That's very surprising. But yeah, Lunar trying to get as much as possible to pull out the suction launcher. Sadly falls to pass his CDS, and it drew down on the side of Clownfish. Maybe a good opening push for the Blobfish. Tough taking down I believe pass the CDS, and if Taki gets a 56, well, he did not, but that could have been a very good first opportunity.
Got Crankers with that brush. Cranker's able to definitely maintain a lot of control with that brush.
We were talking coming out with that good kill. They sadly fall to apologies the Spock here. But the block is getting a little bit lead over here, which means that this may be potentially knockout for this team. So again,
it could be. They stopped the counter. Ooh, but look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna pop it. Dude, they're fighting hard for this.
There's that 74-second penalty, or that 74 timer penalty. They are less than seconds.
Ooh, the sky falling down to Knife T-Tag. Knife trying to paint the zone a little. Hopefully they're gonna Blobfish take the lead, not the lead. Blobfish takes the zone again. Trying to get into the Clownfish back as much as possible. Knife taking down Ataki and Sky. Potentially getting delayed triple. Gets the delayed triple on Lunar.
Yeah, we've got Knife definitely trying to hold the Clownfish back in their base. And Knife doing a good job of putting a delay in there, but of course Lunar coming in with that kill. And it looks like Lunar is going to work on getting the zones back. Oh no, Asagi with the baller. There's nothing like being rolled by a baller.
Well, that looks like that's going to be knocking out on Blobfish's side, which means that this is probably going to be a very tenseable third game for
both teams.
Yes.
Yeah, this is right now it's even. It is 1-1. And so that brings us up to our final map, which is, yes, Rainmaker on the Reef. The Reef, of course, kind of the classic map for Splatoon 2. This was in the Reef in a different version was in the demo, which was actually a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
Except Rainmaker wasn't in it. The demo was just Turf War. But yeah, this is kind of the signature map of Splatoon 2, much as Urchin Underpass in some ways was the signature map of Splatoon 1. Let's get things locked down for Rainmaker on the Reef. And yeah, this will be interesting to see. I mean, there are a couple of ways that you can take the Rainmaker. This tends to be a lot of defense that you have to play just to guard those two routes.
Yes, there's a lot of chances for a lot of pressure being put on near the goal. I personally think that we're definitely going to see the scope come up from Knife again, but they did play really well with T-Thac last game, so they may keep up the pressure in this game on Rainmaker Re.
Yeah, there's definitely, you know, I think again we have been seeing a lot of pressure, and I think the other thing too that we've been seeing is that, you know, the more turf control that you can assert, you know, the better you're going to do, and which is kind of a truism in Splatoon 2. It's almost a little redundant to say it, but a lot of times people forget about that. And this map especially is well suited to you know, to taking control of large areas of turf. So I think you know, this, like in many things, it's whoever controls the most of the map will probably win in Rainmaker.
Yes. We're looking to our match right now on Rainmaker the Reef. It looks like Asagi is actually pulling out the H3D. Strider pulling out a Carbon, which is going to be very hard for Blobfish to counter because Carbon Reef is scaring me. Nice, nice did not go to realize that. Damon kept on dead. Nice on murdering you right there, but Strider thankfully takes him out. This may be a really good push for conflict here. That'd be not as Strider falls down as fast as EDS, as they didn't get much of a lead, but point to point, you know. Blobfish takes the lead here. Looks like there's 2 down, 3 down.
Yep, Blobfish still has it.
This could be a very good push. Yeah, all the way down to 21.
21
just did it.
So all of the Blobfish are now in respawn, and so now it changes from offense to defense as the Clownfish start to push the Rainmaker across the middle bridge. Sky with that knot kill, opening up the area. Sky providing a little defense for the Rainmaker. But the flank, it's the flank.
Canrex with the flank with his I mean, he just fell on for Sky, but that sadly it means no push for unconscious Sky. Ooh, it looks like they may be getting a new push here. 1 down on the side of Blobfish. Cass and I believe in Bruce Lunar trading with the Rainmaker maybe deciding to. It looks like Strider takes just some time for it to not return. We're going to get him out. Finishing hopefully. Soggy takes down the Rainmaker. Sky takes down Soggy.
So yeah, ooh, was Sky going for the Rainmaker and it didn't pick up, or?
That was most likely it, you know. Hitbox Rainmakers are really weird sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. The hitbox on the Rainmaker, wow. Yeah, it's not what it's supposed to be. Depending on how badly you need it.
Yes.
We got Knife with the dualies, getting some coverage in the back.
Looks like a Blobfish may be trying to take the Rainmaker away from it. It looks like only Emus Canrex is alive, which means that this is going to be a good pushing opportunity for the Clownfish. Ooh, a very good. Ooh, 2 down on the side of Blobfish. Coffee being slow. Later, can take one Knife. Knife does not win for going tonight. Coffee puts as much as they can. Just barely gets lead on 1-3 left on the counter. 10% is responsible from Wave to make sure that they don't leave and be safe. But sadly falls to
That Nautilus
Sky.
of Sky. Yes.
Yes. Sky is not a real skill loser. She is still machine right now.
So yeah, the score is currently 21-23. Sky protecting the Rainmaker there. Sky taking the Rainmaker. Actually,
Ooh, they may be
she actually got it this time.
yeah,
the game let her have it. And she's taking it. She's taking it on a back route here.
This may be real. Oh, turn on. Looks like I believe 9 just in
So the Clownfish have it. Strider's got it. Strider caught in traffic. It is so close. It is so close. If
possible, they just gotta get the.
If they can
top
sneak
and
it.
Will it take it? Possible here.
Oh,
Killed him right
with the
there.
defense.
That was really stressful right up until the end there. Like I said before, that was a very tense match.
That
But
was super
Blobfish takes
tense.
the win.
The
With only
Blobfish
two-
take it.
Only had 2 different somewhat.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, that was right down to the wire there. And you know, it with you know, if one person was in a slightly different position, it could have so easily just flipped the other way.
Yes, if Ken was not there, that probably would not have been so well for Blobfish. But yeah, it looks like Blobfish is going to be taking the set in a very stressful tiebreaker.
So yes, the Blobfish have taken the set 2-1 over the Clownfish. Meanwhile, over in the other the other match, it is the Edgy Emus facing off against the acidic Anemone. There we go. We will get it. Currently, only one score has been reported. 1-0. The Emus are currently over the acidic Anemone. And so we will okays that a 1v1 me on stream. Wave, you know that I'd take you down. You know that, right? Oh my god. Yeah, no, I know Wave. He knows me, and he can basically outkill me every day of the week. So with every weapon. All right, so we are currently waiting for our results then for the Edgy Emus and the acidic Anemone, but we just saw some really exciting matches here as we went through Swiss round 4. Again, as we take a look at what was going on, it was Piranha Pit with that tower control, and you know, again, extreme pressure on the tower the whole way by the Clownfish. That was a lot of tower pressure that we saw over on Manta Maria. We saw, you know, kind of dominating the coverage in mid by the Blobfish, as well as some really good flanks and controlling the Clownfish and keeping them in their base as much as possible. And then yes, we just saw Rainmaker on the Reef, where it was a constant skirmish, constant defense, defend the Rainmaker, you know, protect the president. And we saw the Blobfish, you know, able to defend until the end, in order to prevent that very narrow lead from disappearing in the last seconds. And Wave, yes, schedule a scrim with Nawal next week. Do it. So we are still waiting on some results, and you know, it looks like game 2 is in progress. We'll see where we're at, but I think we may be cutting to a break shortly. We'll wait for confirmation from our organizers, but we will I believe we should be going into the finals shortly in about 10-15 minutes would be my guess.
Yeah. So yeah, sadly, we may be having to go and switch between Kraken and Adam, or Crit, if you would rather say Crit. But yeah,
I think yeah. So this is this has been I've been Zata. I will introduce Adam and Krakenmare in as we come back. But it's been real, Band Kid. This has been good.
Yes, it's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
got a
we
lot
are
of tense matches, a lot of quick matches. Everything,
well, and
happened in the match. It happened here.
Well, and I think what I think I like the most about what we saw today so far is just a lot of close matches, and I think that again kind of speaks to the way that the tournament organizers are able to build the teams. 2 days ago they didn't know who their teammates were, and today they're playing with them competitively and giving us some pretty good shows as far as I'm concerned. I think we've seen some amazing matches so far. A lot of thought processes going on how to push and how to defend, and so I think it's been a fantastic opening Swiss set so far. So we will
Yes, for sure.
definitely. So we will be going on break shortly, and again I'm still waiting to see if we get any more progress on the Edgy Emus versus the acidic Anemone. It looks like Acidic Anemone has taken the second round, so we are waiting on their third round, which of course is Rainmaker on the Reef. And then once that is all set, we will be able to move on to the semifinals and then finally the final rounds. And yes, that is going to be. We are going to go to break at this point. So I want to again thank Band Kid for joining me in the virtual broadcast booth. It has been a lot of fun, and we will be back with more Splatoon 2 action after the break.
Yes, we will all see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
More very soon. Yes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Dangerous to Go Alone, January 2021 edition. Yes, we are getting ready for the semifinals here. We have taking over in the broadcast booth right now. It is Kraken, Mare, and Crit. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Oh, it's great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, but I'm going to let you guys take over from here. So, guys, it is semifinals time. Here is the hype. So, it is Kraken, Mare, and Crit. Let's give them a round of applause. Although, you know, there's nobody that's going to applaud in their own house. So,
hey, maybe they are. Maybe they are. We don't know that.
Maybe they are. Maybe...
There we go. We got some applause.
Hey.
So, we're going to go ahead and have the Edgy Emus here versus our Barbaric Blobfish.
That's right.
I always love these names in these kind of tournaments. They always make me laugh. I've never not laughed at any of them.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very excited actually to watch this set here. These are two teams that we saw face off earlier today. The Edgy Emus were able to take a victory over the Barbaric Blobfish, but the Blobfish did take a game at the end of that set. So you know, maybe towards the end of that set, it looked like they were starting to kind of get the Emus downloaded. So you know, we might see them come back and take this set here. Who knows? You know, both teams have really been performing pretty well today. So I'm really excited to see what we're gonna have.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting here. We have 4 teams left. Just 2 more matches for everyone, and then we'll be having, we'll have this match, and then our next one will be our final. So, Edgy Emus actually was 2nd place overall in our standings, and our 3rd place overall was the Blobfish. So
that's
just
right.
kind of mentioning that. So this is our 2-3 match.
Yeah, you know. It's interesting looking at the standings here. Like you said, Edgy Emus are coming in 2nd overall. Blobfish are coming in 3rd overall. But interestingly enough, in their first set, the Blobfish were able to take it over the Devilish Dolphins, who then went on to take a 3-0 set over Edgy Emus. So it's you know, both of these teams seem to have taken a lot of good sets, a lot of good games today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, let's start to get into this set. Let's not worry about the past, because the past does not matter now. This is elimination time. So we are going into Clan Blitz Macklemart. What do you think is the most key position on this map here, Adam?
Oh gosh, you know, it really depends on what is happening in the game, right? That kind of position up underneath your own basket can be very key for sure when you're trying to defend. Being able to hold that down, and it's a great spot to prevent, you know, because with a map like Mako Mart, where it's such a small center area and the baskets are so close together, you really want to be able to have that view over mid. But at the same time, I mean, when you're on offense, being able to get in close and get maybe some flanks around the side to get to your opponent's basket can also be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, those stacks as well are just so crucial. If you can hold stack, you can usually score off of that. Both offensively and defensively, you really prevent the other team from scoring. But here we go. We are going into this match. We have the Blobfish in the green, and in the pink, we have the Emus here. We do see some unique weaponry that I love to see here. That permanent ink brush. As an ink brush player, you gotta love to see a permanent ink brush. It's a little bit different.
Especially in a mode like Clan Blitz, and especially on a map like Mako Mart, where you know, that maneuverability is going to be key in scoring some points.
We do see a great start here out of the side of the Blobfish. Maybe wanting to go for the win here after losing in the last set here. Already scoring here in the first 30 seconds. Trying to score as many of these regular claims. Just the permanent ink brush goes down as well. So that was a complete wipe on the side of the Emus. More points rolling in from the side of the Blobfish. Over or under 50 points remaining. Great start here by the Blobfish. But that push is going to end there at 44 remaining.
Yeah, Blobfish going 4 members down, but, you know, not before making a big statement. They came out swinging. You know, Blobfish right now are saying, you may have beat us in the first set that we played, but we are not out of this at all. Interesting to see Knife here on the heavy Splatling Deco after seeing them play mostly the Vanilla Charger all day today.
Yeah, definitely good to see a little bit of change of pace, and we'll see how it's going to pay out for them. So far, though, they have a great lead, so if you're going to have a change in weapon, if it's going to pay off, that's always a great thing. Emus, though, trying to create some sort of counter push. We see a bomb rush coming out from Shader. I don't know. I don't want to butcher your name, but I'm really good at that. We see them pushing up with that slosher. 3 down on the side of the Blobfish. Still great plays here. Sloshing away. Gonna get that score. Points on the board for the Emus. Can they follow it up with a bunch of clams? We have a few clams from the permanent. Great plays here by the Tri-Slosher of the Blobfish, is keeping the enemy away from the basket. A couple slipped by, but you know, after their great starting push, you can't complain about just loading up 29 points here to start.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You know, definitely a good push on the side of the Emus. They're definitely going to want to score some more points as soon as they can. I just want to point out here, less than 2.5 minutes into this game, we already see this T-Tech with 12 splats. I mean, what a phenomenal performance we're seeing out of that T-Tech.
Really keeping their team afloat right now, in complete honesty, in terms of just raw kills and assists. Great job by them so far. Keep this game a little bit closer. We'll see if that can pay off in the future. It's kind of keeping the Blobfish back. The Blobfish, you know, having such a great opening. Nobody really was getting fragged on the side of the Emus, but now Cork is getting lots of picks. Another one, mind you. I think it was just in the background here of the stream. But, so the Emus are getting their map together. They have the clams. I think they can push here and get potentially the lead. You see that basket now open. 2 members of the Blobfish protecting the basket. Not going to be able to, or the Emu's unable to get the basket open for too long, unfortunately, for the Emus. That score, though, nice and close, down to 56 remaining. So it's nice and close here with a minute remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, unfortunately not able to take the lead there, but the Emus, if they can make one more push like that, they definitely can. Of course, we do see the Blobfish now opening the basket, and unfortunately, they go 4 down. Blobfish are going to be able to get the basket open and get some of their penalty down, but unfortunately not able to add any more points on the board there. Right now, we are seeing the Emus really trying to pick it up. They have quite a bit of momentum coming into this. 2 power clams on the board for them, down to just 1. They are 1 member down. That T-Tech has gone down, but Cheddar is trying their best to get in. If Cheddar can score that 1 power clam and then just a couple of regular clams, that could be the lead for the Blobfish. I'm sorry, for the Emus.
Yeah, with that push that we saw from the Blobfish, one of the big things that ended up happening, because they did not get rid of all of their penalties, they got no points out of that push. They had the clams there, just great defense on the side of the Emus. The Emus, though, now have their backs against the wall with 15 seconds remaining. Got to use a pop gun phrase there. His great phrase. We see a score on the side of the Blobfish. 5 seconds remaining, and they have the basket open. If they can score here, this will end the game. Yes, and the game is over. This first game going to the Blobfish. I believe this best of 5.
That's right. This is going to be a best of 5 set here. Really, really fantastic performance by the Blobfish there. So now if we're looking at overall games for the day, that's Blobfish and Emus at 2-2 versus each other. But wow, look at those KAs. That T-Tech with 22. Really, really fantastic. You know, interesting game there to see how much the Emus were able to completely outfrag the Blobfish, and yet it seemed like when it came down to the team fights that really mattered to extend pushes, to get those extra points, the Blobfish were just able to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, when push came to shove, I think the Emu, or you're right, the Blobfish were just consistently on the winning edge. You know, they would have times where the Emus were keeping up. I think so far mechanically, I think the Emus have had a couple members of Emus are slightly better than the Blobfish. But I think right now as a unit, the Blobfish are playing a little bit better as a team. It's hard to say in a free agent tournament so much like this, where everyone's really not, choosing their teams and have the experience. But you know, if you can get a little bit of that synergy, it goes a long way in these sort of tournaments.
Oh,
I stand on
absolutely.
the side of synergy over individual skill.
Oh, you're completely correct, and it's something that I think like it's a skill that is so important in a setting like this where it's a free agent tournament. Is that if you're on a team and your team practices every day, we expect you to be good at playing together and synergizing. But to come into a free agent tournament and be able to on the fly join a pickup team and just immediately start playing with that synergy is something that's really, really quite impressive.
Yeah, definitely here. But let's go ahead and look forward to tower control on Schellendorf Institute here. Uh, this map is a unique one with the glass, the unpaintable glass here.
Hmm.
A very vertical map, and this tower is one of the large towers as well. So even just getting on the tower is very vertical in this map. Trust me, as a brush main, it pains me every time I have to get on this tower for any bit
Oh,
of time.
absolutely. I'm really interested in this match to see the performance of Knife and Umi, the two backliners, because I feel like backliners are so strong on a map like this, especially on tower control. There's such a lot of good snipe points, and I think that if you have two teams that are pretty evenly matched, it can really come down to which of those backliners is performing the best.
I mean, I mentioned the brushes have paint on here. We had 2 brushes in the last match. We have 0 brushes in this game for a reason. So
Oh, absolutely.
we see the Blobfish starting off really strong here, already at the first checkpoint. As much as it's close to the tower spawn, it's still impressive in the first 15 seconds to already be at that checkpoint. They're unable to clear it though. Great defense by the Emus, managing to take out every member of Blobfish. Knife was able to jump in there, but no picks out of it in the end. So you're a big fight here in the middle. That fight, I believe, went to the Blobfish. I think there's just the splash that was alive, so no power movement yet. As I say that, they start to touch tower.
Yeah, Emu's getting so close to taking that lead there, getting within 4 points of the lead, and then Blobfish able to pull together and use that synergy we were talking about earlier to win that team fight. Just we were seeing there so many players going down left and right, and that's something I really like about this map. The picks happen so fast here.
Oh, really? And we see all the members of Blobfish pushed up in front of tower at that crucial kind of choke point here near the goal in the 3rd checkpoint, completely having the Emus back in their spawn. Not even close to tower. This tower hasn't been shot at in about 10 minutes.
Nope.
We finally get a shot
checkpoint
at him
3.
with the sniper.
Oh my goodness! All the way past checkpoint 3. What a short
They
game.
got it.
Look at that. Blobfish
Wow.
getting the knockout in game 2. A very, very quick victory in tower control. I mean, looking at that game, what do you think it was that the Blobfish were able to do to take that victory so strongly?
I think one of the big things they were able to do is actually push up past that checkpoint 2 as a unit. They had 3 people ahead of the tower and 1 on the tower. That's textbook effectively. And I think there was one time there was a flank and they had a couple maneuvers. It's like these guys have been practicing that to be, being able to. They had synergy there. They just move, not overreacting to the flank, but one person plus the tower person taking them down, and then the other 2 keeping that advanced forward position. And they just absolutely steamrolled the Emus here. I don't know another way to put it. Are we sure that score is correct from earlier? We're 2-1 in favor of the Emus. Right now, the Blobfish making it look like that should have not been that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at it right now, if I didn't know any better, I would tell you that the Blobfish are a team that have played together before. Like you said, being able to push up and put on so much pressure was really impressive. So next up, it looks like we're going to be going into splat zones on Sturgeon Shipyard. This is a pretty fun map. What do you think about splat zones here on Sturgeon Shipyard?
Yeah, this map, it's a more unique one. I think we're going to see a lot of backline pressure again. I think just like the last one, it's really about the backline potentially. Didn't pan out quite that way in the tower control Schellendorf game.
Mhm.
I think it was more about the front line really getting forward. But the same thing can happen here with those snipes. They are so crucial. If you control the grading sniper, I've heard it kind of called both depending on who you ask. If you control that area, you control the other team. They can't push into mid without being spotted. Even if they try to flank around, you see that.
Oh, you're
It's like, well, they're
absolutely
not
right.
pushing.
I'm
It's
particularly
such a power position.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm really interested to see how Cheddar performs here, especially if they bring out that slosher again. Are they going to? No slosher. Interestingly enough, that slosher can be so good on this map to kind of shoot up to the snipe points. Instead, it looks like bringing out the Dually Squelcher is actually another pretty strong pick for this map. That range is going to be really important. Like we said, there's a lot of wide open space here, and so to be able to have that added range is going to be a very good thing.
Well, 3 down already on the side of the Emus. Everyone but the Dually Squelchers went down. Apps, and they managed to hold their snipe though, so they're not completely out of this. The Emus can get a chance to come back here. We do see everyone kind of held back on the side of the Blobfish. We can see it here with Knife the Sniper. You can see that the Junior and the Dualies there were all kind of together. So it looks like they're getting pressured, able to take one down, and managed to hold the zone right now. Though they did lose it for a split second, so they lost, or they did get a penalty on them, unfortunately for the Blobfish. Fortunately, of course, for the Emus, anytime you can get your enemy on a penalty and not taking down their score, that's great. But again, they are down a person.
Yeah, not good on the side of the Emus. Something that we saw from the Blobfish that I think is really strong on this map is being able to set up that map control and get yourselves in a good position at the start of the game is so crucial, because once you have a good position on a map like this, it is really hard for your opponents to push back in. Of course, we are seeing the Emus now taking control of the zone and finally starting to tick down their time, but they need to hold this for a while, and going 2 down, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take the lead here.
No, they definitely won't be able to really get the lead here. It's just the Roller remaining in the mid area. Sneaking around, as Rollers do. Good old Carbon Rollers. Sneaking around here, trying to fight for the zone. Ended up just trading, so I'll give credit to the Roller. And all that time, able to get a trade in the zone. Unable, though, to get anything else. But we do see the rain coming out from the side of the Emus, trying to capture the zone, trying to get some paint on it. Unable, though, to push up with the rain, which is what you need to do when you have rain. And right now, the Emus really are in a bad situation. As I say that, though, they cap the zone. Commentators curse for the blob or the Blobfish here.
Absolutely, that's how it goes. Let's see if so now, I mean, the zone really being contested by both teams. Both teams 4 members up, with the Blobfish able to take that control and are maybe not going to be able to push down their penalty. We see the Emus starting to come in, starting to make some picks, and it looks like they are contesting this zone pretty hard now. Popping the ink armor, that is definitely going to be a big help here. And all right, we see now 2 members of the Blobfish going down, and the Emus are able to take control.
Yeah, we see both teams are it's kind of even right now in mid. Though right now, as we see on the screen, we have 2 members down on the side of the Emus. So again, this is an opportunity for the Blobfish to get points, at least beat down their penalty. The Emus again have to regroup. They have so little time on these penalties, so little time remaining as well. About 1.5 minutes on the clock. So every timer in favor of the Blobfish is running low. Down to 15 remaining on the timer for the Blobfish. But that will be the end of that push. Great job here by the Emus, able to get a position. I think this is finally a chance for them to get a little bit of route between mid and their opponent's spawn here. We get up into their sniper. And
Going
that is
two
not
down.
happening here.
You say that. No. Something that the Emus have been able to do that's been really nice is, just at the most crucial times when it looks like the Blobfish are going to take the game there, they are able to take the zone, even if not for long. They're at least able to keep a penalty on their opponents to buy them some time to kind of pull back together and make another push in. But again, we see the Blobfish now in complete control of mid, pushing down their penalty about to end. And here we go with 15 counts left on the board, 10 counts left on the board. This looks like it might be game for the Blobfish here.
Yep, and that will be the game, set, and match. Blobfish gonna take this one 3-0 in our winners semifinals here. So great job by the Blobfish. Tell you what, they look dominant in this game. It was not a question.
Oh, you're
they were
absolutely
just
right.
really dominant.
Look at that. The KAs on both teams almost exactly the same there. The Emus, while they managed to put up a good fight, but yeah, like you said, the Blobfish really able to dominate. Pretty surprising after the first set that they played together, with the Emus taking a very, very strong 2 first games. But the Blobfish able to just pull together as a team. Again, we said it so many times throughout that set, but they had a fantastic synergy. Of course, this is now a single elimination, so that is going to be the end of this tournament for the Emus. Fantastically played for them, and soon we're going to be going into the grand finals. Blobfish moving forward into those grand finals.
I mean, I think the big key, though, you talked about the KAs being very close. The big thing was where the Emus were getting those kills versus where the Blobfish were getting. I keep on trying to say blobber, but the Blobfish.
You mean the best weapon?
The biggest brain weapon in this entire game. But you saw the Blobfish. What they were able to do is make effectively where the effective mid of the map was right around their snipe. So if they were going even, the Blobfish had a little bit of room to go back. They had time to get people back into the match before they even were attacking zone. So great job by Blobfish in this game, and even the previous games, really setting up a far forward line of neutral line effectively. And if you're able to do that and hold the line like they were consistently, the Emus just did not stand a chance to consistently hold the zone. They just were outpainted, and then they, in this case, they weren't even out fragged. They were just outpainted and had a better line here in this match. So great job by the Blobfish, and we'll be getting into finals here soon.
Yeah,
Blobfish, I don't think we have the results of the other one just quite yet.
we do not. Right now, it looks like the Devilish Dolphins are up 2-1 over the acidic Anemone. So we will see how that continues to pan out. But I just have to parrot exactly what you had said there, in that, like you said, the KAs may have been similar, but it's not about how many kills you're getting. It's about where and when, and making, good use of them. And I think that really reflects in that first game. We saw the Emus outfrag the Blobfish completely. We had that T-Tech with 22 splats, and yet still the Blobfish were able to take the game, and pretty dominantly.
Well, the big thing to remember is it's not just about kills. Some people, there's a lot of people that get into that trap of, what, I'm doing good because I'm getting so many kills, or I'm doing bad because I'm not getting enough kills. It depends on the role of the weapon. If you're playing something like Tent, you're not about just fragging. That's not your goal. If you do it, that's cool, right? But the big thing is about making sure you're getting team to an objective, pushing forward with your team, etc. I think Tent and Umbrellas are the easiest one to really point out because it's so obvious what their goal is. So if you just meet your goal as a weapon, you have contributed more vastly than someone just like pew pew. I shoot squids with ink. Like that's cool. And there's some weapons that needs to be their goal. You want a T-Tech with that goal. You want something like a Nautilus with that goal. But anyone that watches other teams, they may have, team comp is so crucial. Having something like a Junior for paint along with that Nautilus, so the Nautilus can do its job. And then if the Nautilus is getting picks, it means the Junior can do its job more effectively because it's not being pressured as much. And then you have the Sniper who also is protecting overall, and then maybe you throw in a tent there to help them push an objective of sorts. Especially on something like Splat Zones, to really focus that zone with something, especially if you run the curling bomb rush one on certain maps. That's so much focused on that zone and just completely crushing it. It sounds like a weird comp, but when you think about how everything plays together, it can mean so much. And it's anytime you see those wonky comps work, it's where you just need to think about what is the role of each one, and are they doing their role? And if it's working, usually that means a yes. Usually. Occasionally, it's one person absolutely dominating, but
That can certainly happen. You know, I'd have to agree, and I think something else that helps with that, whether you're playing a wonky comp or not, is and it's something that we saw the Blobfish doing over and over, is you and everyone on your team needs to be playing to your role.
Mhm.
So when we can see if you have something like, again, specifically said the tent. Yeah, right. If a tent's getting a lot of splats, sure, that looks great on paper, but also, that could mean that maybe that tent isn't doing the job they're supposed to be doing in focusing on map control. So it could be, almost a hindrance as much as it is a help.
Definitely here. Whew, tell you what though, I'm excited here. We actually just got word that we are 2-2 in the other set. The Devilish Dolphins versus the Aesthetic Anemone here. That's an exciting thing here to see. That was our number 1 seed versus our number 4 seed here, and it's 2-2. It's always exciting to see that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Devilish Dolphins being our number 1 seed. And the Devilish Dolphins, I mean, having a really fantastic record today. In pools, they went 7-2 in games, which is really fantastic to see. And I think it is worth mentioning that the Devilish Dolphins, they went 7-2, but the 2 games that they lost were
Mhm.
to the Blobfish. So if we see the Devilish Dolphins moving forward, that would be really interesting to see them come up against, I think, the only team that they have lost a set to today. And on the adverse, if we see the acidic anemone move forward, that could also be an interesting set. I don't think that we've seen acidic anemone and blobfish together on stream yet today.
I believe not either. But for now, let's go ahead and take a quick break while we wait for this last set here, or last game in the set, and then we'll go ahead and get started with those finals here soon. I am Kraken Mare, joined here by Adam, and we will be back. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome back, everyone, to Off the Dial. We are back with our grand finals. We have ourselves the Blobfish versus the Anemones in this one. That's gonna be fun to say all stream.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, interestingly enough, this is our Siege 3 and 4 going into the top 4 today. Like we were saying a little bit before we came back to stream, we've seen a double upset in semifinals. First, the Blobfish taking a set over the Emus, that's Seed 3 taking over Seed 2, and then the Anemone taking it over the Devilish Dolphins. That's Seed 4 taking a set over Seed 1. This is going to be an interesting and exciting set for sure.
Oh, it definitely will be. I mean, it really just shows that you just don't quit. I mean, the Anemones had a losing record going into this bracket. Just and by nature, the way it is built, they made it in, and like I said, they had a losing record, and here they are in the finals. You know, they just had to beat one team to be here. But, you know, you just never give up. Until you are out of the fight, you never give up. And I think they were even down 2-0 in the set. Let me go look back here at the record. They were down 2-1, excuse me, at one point, and they managed to win the last two in that set to advance to this finals here. Tell you what, though, they're going to be facing some strong competition in the Blobfish. We saw what they could do in the last set. They seem to be getting some sort of team identity there for a little bit, and we're going to see if that's going to continue here into the grand finals of It's Dangerous to Go Alone here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the Anemone just coming off of a 2-game win, 2 games in a row over the Devilish Dolphins. You know, they have some momentum going. Hopefully, they'll be able to carry it into these finals. That being said, the Blobfish also coming off of a very clean 3-0 over the Emus. So, both of these teams seem to be primed. They're both in this last set have been playing the best that they've played all day, and that is something that's so fun about these pickup tournaments, these free agent tournaments, is that you really get to see there's a huge difference between the way that teams play in their first game as opposed to in the final games. Just so much more synergy, so much more teamwork happening that we're seeing out of both of these teams right now. So first game, we're going to be going into Tower Control on Muscle Forge Fitness, a fun map with a couple of really key choke points. You want to tell us about those choke points here?
Oh yeah, I mean the key choke points are really just around those checkpoints, especially the first two. The first two are really crucial. The third one's a little bit harder to defend as the defender, but the first one is over by the lockers on the sides. So a lot of up and down verticality around that checkpoint. And whoever controls the middle area and kind of that locker is who's going to be able to stop that. Especially if you own the top mid, you have control of that fight because you have the height advantage over the enemy here. So that is such a crucial position on that first one. And the second one, again, the bridge is probably about where it is, but if you really want to push up to the enemy's snipe area and really control around that bridge so nobody kind of just flanks in, it's a very short checkpoint, but it's such a crucial checkpoint. If you can get past that second checkpoint, usually you're in the position to win this match. So we'll see if anybody's able to effectively push up. We saw the Blobfish were able to do that in the last tower control game on Schellendorf in the last set. We'll see if they'll be able to continue that momentum here on tower control and Muscle Forge Fitness.
Absolutely. I like this comp that we see coming in here from Anemone. I think that the Kensa Dynamo is going to be a really interesting pick here.
It really is. What it brings to the table, though, is that Booyah Bomb. With 3 checkpoints, if you can hit a Booyah Bomb on any of them, the checkpoint may not be officially over, but it's at least significantly delayed. So
absolutely,
that's the key here, is that Booyah Bomb. We already see them getting some picks here. We already see that first checkpoint being pushed, and they are able to get it. This is such a great start from the Anemones, already pushing up past that bridge. I mentioned that's the key choke point. We already have the Tri-Slusher up ahead of it. It's really just the Tri-Slusher right now. Disobey, absolutely shredding the Blobfish right now.
Such a
Single-handedly.
strong performance. Unfortunately, Disobey goes down, but we really saw Disobey playing to the strength of that weapon, standing underneath that ledge and being able to get that key angle up onto the ledge. Jumping back in now, we have both teams 3 members up, and the Anemones now having lost the tower, but just of course as I say that, they take it back and are pushing up, getting ready to go into checkpoint 3 here.
Yeah, that looks like this push is going to be completely stopped by the Blobfish, though. They have about 3.5 minutes to respond here, so 3.5 to respond. It's plenty of time, but I'll tell you what, right now that opening push really puts them on their heels so early on. It's not something you want to be in, especially in the start of a set in the first match, and how dominant they were in the first tower control game. Here they go. Anemones again pushing, getting multiple members of the Blobfish down. Just completely zoning them out away from the tower. We see Epic and other members doing a great job here so far in this set.
Yeah, something interesting that we saw there, the Blobfish had a couple members push up and try to really play aggressively to get some map control, but unfortunately that left them a little bit open for the Anemones to start making a second push. The Blobfish now taking control in middle and starting to make a push of their own, pushing down to 85, making their way to that first checkpoint. They are 1 down though. Let's see if the Anemones can stop this push. Ooh, making it past that first checkpoint. We have the Blobfish now with Cass on that tower. Cass going down. 3 members of the Blobfish going down. We see the jump in and the splashdown. The Blobfish now finally finishing off that push after almost all 4 of their members going down. It looks like the Anemones still retaining their lead.
We did see when they were pushing it. We mentioned at the start of this that Booyah Bomb was going to be a factor. It ended up coming in a little late to stop that push. So that's the key thing is that we see another Booyah Bomb, as I say that too, also able to assist in getting a pick on the Blobfish. We again see Disobey pushing up, destroying the Blobfish. Disobey is disobeying all the rules here and saying, this is my set, my game. No one else can have this one.
You're absolutely right. I mean, what a key position for that Tri-Slosher there. Really just able to be an absolute nuisance and keep the Blobfish from being able to even get to the tower.
We see some flanks. They're gonna just get home as tower is gonna be denied too short. Mia on the tower, 1 point. No,
oh my goodness.
1 point meme. Not. So
Anemone
either way,
finally
though,
being stopped at 1 point. You love to see that. I mean,
honestly, though, the way this match has shaped up in the first 4 minutes, that should be enough for the win. We'll see, though. Blobfish able to get some push-up. You can kind of see here, Knife on tower, and the rest of the team really taking control of mid right now. The Booyah Bomb gonna disrupt the tower push. Tower still gonna move all the way to about neutral here. And the flank by Disobey.
wow. Disobey does go down. The Blobfish right now, with less than a minute left in the game at more than a 60-point deficit, you can see that they're really trying to pull together and use some of that teamwork that we said they had earlier. But I mean, Kraken, if you were the Blobfish right now, what is going through your mind?
Honestly, you mentioned the teamwork. On this map, though, it's a little, I would say this map is harder to have that kind of team pushes compared to Schellendorf. Schellendorf, kind of the path of the tower kind of goes where you need to go. Obviously, in this one, it does too. But those key positions, instead of just being ahead where the tower is, you have to kind of go away from the tower. And we see, again, Disobey. You can kind of see it at the top of your screen. 23 KA right now. We'll see that again at the scoreboard if that changes between now and then. A little bit overtime. Knife and Fosh fighting for the tower. And they still have the tower. The Blobfish have the tower. They're still fighting on the tower. Mia fighting for it. They are able to hold Knife and the junior there of Blobfish have the tower. This match will end whenever that tower is given up by the Blobfish or they get the lead. So just a bit more time here through that second checkpoint. Where has this been, Blobfish?
Oh my goodness. Wow, able to really pull together and make a big push. That they almost got a full wipe on an enemy, which was going to help them a lot. But unfortunately, when you're at such a big deficit, the full wipe is not enough to get you all the way to victory. You have to keep that performance up. I mean, we saw the Blobfish really pull together and almost pull out that last second win, but Anemone able to hold their lead. And look at that disobey with the 25. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sure at least 20 of those were kills. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
I would not be surprised if it was 20 or give or take 1 or 2
You know,
from being legitimate kills and not too many assists in that one.
I
When they
think
popped armor, he popped him for himself.
it was amazing. It was amazing. I think earlier Disobey was listening to our commentary about how winning games is about more than just KA, and they said you want to bet.
I did mention in there that it does occasionally happen that you can just have one person just absolutely dominate with the KA. And they said, well, I hear a little sliver of hope in there, so I'm going to do it and prove them wrong.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, though, if the Blobfish can keep up what they did at the end of that, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. They just can't do the first, 4.5 minutes. That's a little bit problematic for them. But moving on to this game, because that one is now over, we're on to Splat Zone's Camp Triggerfish. Oh, baby, this is a fun one.
A fun one and a difficult one. I mean, this is the type of map that is very stressful as a player, but pretty fun as a spectator. These two zones with the big gap between them, this is the type of map and mode that really is going to favor long range. So I'm very interested to see how Anemone performs here. Like we said in that last match, their MVP was really Disobey, being able to not only rack up that KA, but doing it in a way that kept the Blobfish entirely distracted and unable to play to objective. I want to see if they're able to do it again here, where you really have to be in multiple places at once in order to make a short range weapon like the Tri-Slosher work like that.
I mean, it's super, super duper possible. And this is a very team heavy map. This is probably one of the most team heaviest map mode combos in the entire game. And so it's very decisive whether or not you like it. It depends also what kind of person you are. If you really like team battles, I tend to be that way. I really love this map mode. Funny enough, this is like my second most winning Splat Zones map. I don't know
Really?
how.
I
But
love it.
I had a really good team plan for this one. Me and my team, we really this is one we really focused on because we knew how much team oriented it was. Because of controlling both sides, able to communicate effectively. Hey, we need to move more people over to this side. We need to respond to them on this side. The pairing of weapons to start off. You may want something like a tent and a squeezer on the one side, and on the other side you may want we always ran a brush and a hydra on the other. And so it's all those it's so team oriented because of that.
Right.
To me, it's moved the way that both of these teams actually split up here. We kind of saw the Blobfish take an aggressive 3 onto the other side, while it looked like to me the Anemones had. It was a 1v1 effectively on the Blobfish's side with the Slosher and Mia, the squeezer that we see now, able to get the pick for that matter. And now Mia's got a nice aggressive position. If they can hold it, I think they are fighting the end zap there over the zone, and we'll see who's able to come out on top.
Yeah, for sure. I love that we see the Blobfish pull out the Exploiter here. I think that's a wonderful weapon for a map like this, where you can really get good paint even over that gap. We see the Blobfish taking a cue from the Anemone last game, bringing a Tri-Slosher of their own. It's interesting to see 2 Tri-Sloshers here. The Blobfish able to take an early lead, but Anemone coming in and scrapping that, getting all the way down to 45 points remaining now for them.
I mean, honestly, though, at the end of the day, the Tri-Slosher is just a fantastic weapon, and things like that Burst Bomb really extend its range. And I think you kind of see him in the background assisting Mia here. Are those Burst Bombs by Disobey, I believe. I don't think anybody else has Burst Bombs on their team. And we see Mia with the triple! That will seal this game. I think even they got the quad there at the end? I am not quite sure.
Wow.
But it was at least a triple there. Mia just absolutely just saying, yep, this game's over. Thank you. We won game 2.
You're completely right. I mean, what a fantastic performance, and on a squeezer, no less. You know, look at that. The 10 KA in a game that lasted what, maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a very long match. We would have
Do,
to go back and look at the tape, but
doing a really good job of splitting up in a way that was really effective there, being able to kind of cap both of those zones, and then you know we saw them kind of take both the center lane there, and also that left lane where it's kind of blocking all ways that the blobfish could come back and take the zones back. You know, once Anemone got control of that zone, that was it. You know, it was over. A really great, you know, like you said, what we saw there was good team play, and that's what wins you games on a map like that. You know, Splat Zones Camp Triggerfish, it really is the bane of solo queue players everywhere. So interestingly enough, we now have seed 4 coming into finals at 2-0 over the Blobfish in grands. So now we're going to go into Rainmaker on New Albacore Hotel. What are your thoughts on this?
another very team-oriented map. I mean, I don't know if they handpicked these maps, but they really just went team-oriented here on these ones, huh? I mean, I mean, the first three, all three of them, you have to know where you got to move as a unit. And I mean, that applies to every map, but there's some maps it's clearly obvious which, even things like Schellendorf that we had in the previous set, it kind of babies you a little bit where you need to go, and there are those flank opportunities, but usually you can spot them pretty easily. Well, these ones, you have to know where you need to be at any given time as a unit, or else you're not going to be able to do that. And we've seen so far the enemies have that. Disobey did it very, very well. We kind of showcased the snipe area was one of the key spots before the match. Did that beautifully. And in that last one, what they were able to do is coordinate and move around very well. And even if one member didn't move over, you had things like the burst bombs from Disobey coming to help Mia out. So both keys so far they've been able to hit. So this one, it's just about getting pushed up in front of the Rainmaker after you decide where you're going. Maybe you want one person flanking around. This one isn't so much a key position. It just depends on which way you're going.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of going up the left side, up that ramp, really what you want is somebody up in their spawn area there, up on that next level. That's a key point to get a lot of points off. Once you get that Rainmaker there, they can go a few different ways and get lots of points. The next big position there for this map is kind of their street in general. If you can control their street, you can kind of control where you want to go with the Rainmaker. If you're on that more right side, you can kind of either go to the right, the far flank, the one you don't usually see so often, or you can go right up the center and get lots of points. We see a big fight here in mid. We have the enemies again having the lead early in this set, trying to do the best they can. And right now the Blobfish are just kind of feeding into enemy's defense.
Yeah, the Rainmaker is going to go down. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Rainmaker now goes down. I really want to talk about these team comps. This is very interesting. This is a map and a mode where you really hear people talk about how chargers are so strong here, and yet we see no chargers coming in, and the enemy's not even really bringing a dedicated backline weapon. That's an interesting strategy, and so far it's panning out for them, pushing down to 75 and taking the quick early lead.
I mean, the big thing you have to remember, we have the Rainmaker as our mode. Rainmaker mode is just so fast that any sniper, it puts them in a really awkward position. They can't really move quite as fast, especially the scoped variants. They have to be more stagnant. And in Rainmaker, you just cannot have that stagnant. If this was Splat Zone, you'd be seeing E-leaders. Scoped E-leaders occasionally, but usually it's just regular E-leaders, where you can still have a little bit of that movement when you're holding the charge. But in this, you just don't need it. You need to be able to move. So having no dedicated backline with basically your Dynamo being the closest thing to a dedicated backline on the side of the enemy is not a terrible decision, because everyone can push up. Everyone can move when that Rainmaker's ready to go.
No, it's definitely not a terrible decision. And like we said, it is working out. The Blobfish able to pick up that Rainmaker and start to make a small push of their own, but only pushing down to 25. The enemy's able to hold a really strong lead, but they are 2 down now, and the Blobfish taking complete control of mid, popping that Stingray just as they pick up the Rainmaker. A very good strategy, pushing down to 90. Are they going to be able to take this lead? there it is, pushing down to 70 points, losing the Rainmaker, but making a statement that they are not out of this tournament just yet. The Anemones are going to have to pull together and make a push of their own. Of course, that being said, 70 points isn't a massive lead. There is still quite a bit of room for either team to take this game.
I mean, there just really hasn't been that team push yet. I kind of talked about early when we were getting into this. There hasn't been that team push where we had the entire team kind of together pushing. We kind of had that in that first push by the Anemones, but it just got flanked and it fell apart there. That was about the closest we really had to an opportunity of that so far. Every other one's just kind of we're going to push it real quick, and then they get picked on the grades. We saw that, and that's why our score is only down to 30 points, 70 remaining on the side of the Blobfish is our best score. So we'll see if that changes here. Here we finally go. We gotta have that team push. We see Disobey controlling that streak. As I mentioned, the key point in that intro.
Yep, making really good use of the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, it completely cleared the street. The one person that was there had to retreat away, and now there is nobody other than the people coming out of spawn. So that means that complete street was empty, and now we see Blobfish with a minute and a half down 34 points here. So we'll see if that changes here in the last minute and a half. Knife gonna pop that. Stingray gonna try to do the best they can. If they can get a pick or two, that would be huge. Able to get an assist on the one trying to rush him, but not much out of that Stingray in this match.
No, but now, I mean, we just saw the Anemone get wiped, a full wipe. Can the Blobfish really make good use of that and take the lead here? Unfortunately, by the time they pick up the Rainmaker and start making the push, it looks like Anemone is starting to get back into position themselves. They're starting to get some points on the board now, pushing down to 65, but losing the Rainmaker. Of course, Anemone did just go 2 members down. It looks like Asagi is going to try to pop that Rainmaker and start up that push again. I like what we see here from is it Cranklers? Is that on the Aquabrush? Sharking there, trying to kind of be a nuisance, keep an enemy distracted, but unfortunately is going to go down. An enemy able to shut down that push just as it was starting.
I mean, in full honesty here, the biggest thing that just hurt them is they just took too long to push. Like, Blobfish had that opening, we could see it better as spectators, but in general, if you get a full wipe, as soon as you grab that fish, just go. Like, they had an opportunity there to make big points. Instead, they pop things like missiles and whatnot. And I think that really what cost them at least a big push, if not the lead in this one. And this set will go to the Anemones. This is going to be a complete upset.
Absolutely.
Of the bracket
C4. C4 taking it 3-0 in grand finals against the Blobfish.
Disobey. It's more like disrespecting their opponents and just destroying them.
Yeah,
disobeying the rules of
leaderboarding
law here.
Absolutely. So that's going to be the tournament going to Acidic Anemone. Congratulations to them. Like we said earlier in semis, in a tournament like this where it's all free agents, all solo registration, to come together and be able to play as a team is so important. And I love that in the grand finals we were able to see 3 map and mode combos that really rewarded that team play. So it's interesting how you can be coming into top cut as the lowest seeded team because maybe in the beginning they were still learning how to play together as a team, and then but once they got it down, I mean, we saw an absolutely dominant performance, just winning 5 games in a row, the last 2 games of semis, and then taking the clean 3-0 in grand finals. So congratulations to the Acidic Anemones.
Yeah, definitely a great job by them. Going into this set, I honestly wrote them off probably losing to our number 1 seed. They had already lost to them once, but they ended up taking that set, 3-2, nice close set. And even then, I'm like, we saw such a great performance out of the Blobfish. How could they even match up to them? Yeah, they ended up sweeping them.
Absolutely. And not to discount the Blobfish either. They really performed incredibly well today. But just all the teams that we saw today were able to pull out some really fantastic plays.
Yeah, I mean, this really shows that these teams were nice and well balanced. When you can lose one set, get yourself together, and come back another one. Heck, the team coming into this that had a losing record ended up winning the tournament. So that just shows a great job here by the staff and our team balance. So hopefully, it sounds like they did their homework. If not, good job, guys. You got lucky.
Hey, one or the
We're gonna
other. It
say they
doesn't
did their
matter to
homework.
them. They won, right?
Yeah, they definitely did well today. Well, I think that will have to be ending our time here. Thank you all so much for participating today, and those that are here on stream for watching the stream today. Continue to check in on Off the Dial. We will, for more tournaments like this, they will continue to do more. I've seen some great tournaments by the staff team here, and I know they're always working to improve and make things better. I have to give them credit for that, and I love seeing TOs that do that. So there are plenty that just kind of get stagnant, eventually they just are okay with what they got, instead of just consistently improving. Most TOs work to it. I promise you that most do, but it's great to see that from the staff. I've been
Yeah.
Kraken Mayor. You can find me at Kraken Mayor on Twitter, at Kraken_Mayor, or on Twitch at Raging Always, 2 eyes. Where can they find you?
Again, I am Crit or Adam, whatever you prefer. You can find me on Twitter at CritSuccess_. And that is going to be it for us today. Thank you so much to all the teams, all the viewers, and congratulations once again to Acidic Anemone for taking it all.
Alrighty, everyone. Hope you have a good night, and we'll see you soon.